Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Wednesday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. We are now 5 days away from the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders in the NFC title game in Philly. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Wednesday morning, brother?
Doing well. Too cold locally, but doing well.
It's frosty out.
Yeah. Eagles will have scaled back to a walkthrough today, so they're playing the game. We're not going to get to see as reporters Jaylen Carter on the field today. But we'll get an estimated injury report later this afternoon, very late this afternoon, I would imagine. And I expect him to be estimated as limited, but we'll see how that shakes out. He is scheduled to talk to us, so that's a clear indication he's going to play the game, which should be no surprise because he said after the Rams win that he was going to play. So I don't know why that became a story yesterday, but he already said it. But so there
somebody knows how to go on Twitter, John. Take a clip from a couple of days ago, wrap it up into a report, and everybody covers it. It's funny.
Yeah, the aggregators run. So yeah, he already said that. Quinyon already said he was going to try to play. So none of that was new news, so to speak, to quote Jason Kelsey. But yeah, the key is not are they going to play. The key is how effective are they going to be able to play.
Yeah, right. Well, that was going to be my next question. Obviously, Jaylen Carter will be out there. I haven't had somebody reach out to me. Maybe they go to Pickett if Jaylen's not perfect. I'm like that. It doesn't matter if Jaylen Carter can take that field. He's going to take that field. But what's your gut feeling right now? I think it's hard to kind of tell where he is or what kind of injury he's sustained in that game. But you expecting him to be able to run in this game, or you think it's going to be a much more scaled back version of Jaylen? Like, I know we're just speculating right now. Obviously, we're not reporting anything or saying anything like that. Just asking for your general opinion or your general thought on where you are right now on Jaylen Carter in this game.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be near 100%. And again, I'm just relying on the Dr. David Chow's of the world, who do the best they can, and he'd be the best, I would say, of looking at particular injuries off video. And he said there's probably no structural damage, which is obviously good, and if there was, he wouldn't be playing, to be honest. But he's probably got a sprained knee, so I mean, it's tough to play. Here's how I'll describe it. If that's a regular season game, he doesn't come back into the game.
Right.
Yeah. And if this is a regular season game, he probably isn't playing.
Probably isn't playing.
So that's my feel. And again, that's just obviously Jaylen's locked down. He'll talk today. He won't give us anything. He doesn't give anybody anything on injuries. So don't believe any goofy posts you see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to be 100%.
Yeah. Follow JF McMullen for the real reports, not the fake news aggregators that are around there. So make sure you guys follow Johnny Mac on Twitter, one of the best in the business. And
it's not fake; they're just copying somebody else.
Right, not fake. Just go right to the source's mouth with John. So go and follow John on Twitter at JF McMullen. Follow me on Twitter at Real Zander. I'm your host, Johnny Mac. I had a funny, quick story before we get into the football talk, and we're going to break down this NFC title game. We got a great guest in hour number 2. We're going to talk to Brandon Lee Gouton. I want to thank everybody for being here this morning, all of our great people in the chat. Good to see everybody here, and for those listening after the fact, we appreciate it, and we love you all. So thank you so much. Hit that like button. Chan's in here. Jeff Martin, Izzy B, Real RMP, Philly to Chicago, Suplex City. Our Saquon jersey winner yesterday, Johnny Mac. So good for Suplex City.
Nice.
Good to see everybody in.
Probably getting 125 again. Get ready, Zander.
Yeah, I think this was an added jersey, that Suplex one. It wasn't the 125 jersey, but we probably will give away another one of those. So, John, I woke up, I wake up 6:30, start checking my I just go on social, make sure I didn't miss anything, but make sure I'm prepped for the show. And I woke up to a DM. Hey, hated your show for 10 weeks. I'm finally liking it. Good job. I'm like, what a great DM to send somebody. I hated your show for 10 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I get so much. I get so many hate DMs. It's it's unbelievable.
I just thought it was funny to lead with. I hated your show.
Well, I love it.
Pretty
You're
fun.
awful, but you're getting. But you said something I like. It's basically what that means.
Exactly. You finally said something I agree with.
And when they hate you, you say something they don't like. So that's basically it. It's part of it.
10 weeks. I'm like, boy, 10 weeks. I don't give anything 10 weeks. If I don't like something, I'm out of there. I ain't listening for 10 weeks. But anyway, if you're listening, the guy who sent me that DM, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for tuning in. And you're a valued viewer here on JAKIB Sports. All right, Johnny Mac, 5 days out from the NFC title game, brother. Jayden Daniels coming to town. I thought Vic Fangio spoke yesterday, has said some great things. What were your key takeaways on some of the things that they said yesterday? Vic Fangio obviously had some great quotes. A rookie by birth certificate, but not by game tape.
Yeah.
So they're not taking this guy lightly. What'd you take away from what they said yesterday, the coordinators?
Yeah, you always get Vic breaking out the Italian wine for Darius.
Yeah, that was funny.
So he's everybody latched on to birth certificate thing. He is very calm, but there is something to experience. I think that's a big advantage for the Eagles against Jayden Daniels. But it is pretty amazing that a rookie is as calm. I talked about it, as calm as and collected as he is. If you look at the divisional round, other than Mahomes, I don't think there's another quarterback who looked as calm and poised as Jayden Daniels in the entire round. It's a bunch of veteran quarterbacks.
Yep.
Including, the guy who's going to win the MVP and the guy who's going to be the runner-up. He's an amazing player, but I still and Vic's obviously he's not going to shit on an opponent, nor should he. In the case of Jayden Daniels, but obviously he's not going to say, he's inexperienced, and maybe that is a slight advantage. But he's also incredibly talented, and that's bigger than anything else. You've seen it over the years with Jalen Hurts. Sometimes the play breaks down, and everybody's talking about play call. This play call stinks. This play call doesn't stink. And then he makes a play off schedule, and everybody's happy. That's this guy, probably to a higher degree. Because he's a little bit of a better athlete.
All the things we love about Jayden has the ability to do in terms of making a defender miss. How many times have we seen Jaylen escape a sack or something?
Yeah, well, a little bit different. I would say he's more towards obviously Jalen's more powerful. He's more towards the athleticism standpoint.
Right.
But the same thing when it comes to extending plays and the ability to do those things. The fourth downs we talked about a lot because it's been such a big part of Washington's approach, and they've been so successful. Well, why are they so successful? Well, if it's fourth and short and you're a defense and you got a quarterback that can run it, that can throw it, that could, it's just everything in the playbook is open. It's so difficult to stop. So yeah, he's going to be a problem. And the easiest way to deal with it is to get immediate pressure up the middle. Easiest way to deal with it. And Jaylen Carter's having a unbelievable playoff run, and it's got to continue, and it probably will continue with Washington losing Sam Cosmi, so their best offensive lineman. But there's a couple things. And Vic didn't bite. I tried to get him. Austin Eckler's back in this game. And I've been talking about this for a while since Nakobe Dean went down. And I said I didn't think it was going to matter against the Rams. Didn't think it was going to matter that much against the Packers, to be honest. Not that Jacobs is a bad receiver, just a different type of receiver. Right. This is a receiver. This is a receiving back. This is a guy who can run routes, can run option routes, can run angle routes,
right?
Can run wheel routes.
A lot of his production actually comes through the air, doesn't it?
Yeah. This is not a guy who you just dump it. You can dump it off to him, but this is a guy who can do some things. And there's not a lot of running backs who can do that. Jahmyr Gibbs was my biggest worry because that guy's outrageous. And luckily, Washington, and to a lesser degree, and let's be honest, if you go back to the Super Bowl last season, the minute Oren Burks came in that game,
Different
I
ballgame.
think he gave up eight completions and 8 targets, something like that.
Yep.
This is a week where they didn't use Jeremiah Trotter Jr. at all. I was trying to get to see if Vic was thinking about using him, but that part he doesn't lie about. I don't think he's thinking about using him. And I think it wouldn't be a bad thing to get a little bit more athleticism on the field against Eckler. But, he's not Jahmyr Gibbs either. He's not Bijan Robinson. So, if you're worried about a running back, you're probably nitpicking. But just something to keep an eye on because he's really good and he's back and he didn't play in that second game.
Yeah, and Vic and not Vic. Cliff Kingsbury's having a good year as a play caller over there for their offense. So I would assume he will draw some stuff up to try and exploit that matchup, John, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at it, he was on injured reserve, so he missed the second game they won. In the game they lost, he was the Commanders' leading receiver. And he had 8 receptions for 89 yards. This is a running back. Now, that's a bad – Washington didn't play well offensively. They couldn't get the ball. Remember, they couldn't get the ball to Terry McLaurin that week, and that was a big deal, and everybody was saying, lock down this, lock down that. And Eckler was the guy who sort of kept him in the game until Saquon broke it open. Yeah, he might be tough to deal with this week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. John, I rewatched the Eagles Commanders game from, what was it, week 15 maybe, or December 20th, 22nd, I think the game was. I rewatched that game last night. Tough to pull a lot from it without Jalen Hurts on the field, but the one thing I'll say that I really noticed is in the first game we beat the Commanders, we contained Jayden Daniels. He didn't run very much on us. And in the second game, he gashed us several times. He had the 4th and 11 play late in the game. It basically could have iced the game. We were up by 2 scores at that point, and they had a 4th and 11, and he runs for it and picks up the first down. And
that's an Eagles play. That's a perfect example of
exactly.
An Eagles play.
So, I think one of the keys here is you got to contain Jayden Daniels, or do not let him gash you in the running game, because he's got the weird ability, John. That's where I compared him to Jaylen, where he can just move the chains, on 3rd down, 4th down. And Vic said it yesterday. They trust him to do a lot, and he's taking it well. So I think you got to contain Jayden Daniels in this game.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, it was a tale of 2 games, 5 touchdowns in the first game, which was like week 11. So they played each other very closely. But the Commanders lost Eckler between the first game and the second game. The only success they had was throwing it to Eckler and Zach Ertz, so they couldn't get the ball. McLaurin had 1 catch. Zacchaeus had 1 catch. Brown had 1 catch. McCaffrey didn't have a catch. They couldn't get the ball outside at all. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then, they did a very good job in the running game. You remember that 4th down stop by Zach Bond, which was so key in that first game. And it's easier when you have Zach and Jacoby, because you're going to have to spy him. And now you're going to certainly, probably have to do that with Zach Bond most of the time, which takes him away from other things he does well. So this is the week where I'm a little bit concerned about the Jacoby injury. But, the Eagles are far more talented. I mean, everybody has injuries this time of year, and you have to overcome them. Yeah, but I think it'll show up a little bit more this week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we'll see how that goes. John, from a defensive perspective, and I think it's fair, but many Eagles fans feel super good about their defense, and I do too. They're the best defense in the NFL, and they've been all year, and they continue to impress. Here's the one thing I'd say about this game. You're coming off, obviously, last time you played this team, Jayden Daniels threw for 5 touchdowns. I know they had 5 turnovers, but not all of those were on Daniels. He had the 2 picks, but De'Ami Brown had a fumble, and Brian Robinson had 2 fumbles in that game early. So not all on Jayden there, but he did shred you for 5 touchdowns. And then you're also coming off a game where your defense gave up, 330 passing yards to Matthew Stafford in the snow. The Commanders put up 45 points last week on the Detroit Lions. The Commanders put up 30-plus points in the first half of that football game. How do you expect the defense to match up with this team? Are you expecting a much lower scoring game? You think the Eagles are going to have to score more? What's your general thought on where the score is going to fall in this game? Because a lot of people are predicting it. Okay, the Eagles defense is going to hold them much better than the Lions did, and it might be in the 20s. All right, that's a game I like the Eagles in. If the Commanders are able to put up 30-plus points, you're talking about a different football game here.
Well, I think the weather helps in that instance. Obviously, you're in pristine conditions in Detroit in a dome versus being outside, even though, the weather is going to turn. It's not going to be terrible, but still, outside in the Northeast in January, the best you can hope for is high 30s, low 40s, and that's probably what you're going to get.
Yeah,
but that'll
high 30s.
Yeah, that'll still, keep things down a little bit. So number one, I don't think you're going to see a 45-40 shootout, just from the standpoint of the weather impacting that. And then, I do think one of the best things Jim Schwartz ever told me is games have personalities, and I say it all the time.
Yeah.
So, I think people get caught. Like Matthew Stafford throwing for 300. That's not the important part. They're behind. They're trying to come back. The raw number is not the important part. But games are personalities. And sometimes you got to win a shootout, Super Bowl 52. Sometimes you got to win a grinded out game. The question we've been asking all year, are the Eagles equipped to win a shootout? I still don't know the answer. I don't think you're going to get the answer this week. I don't think they're going to need to do that because of the environment. But, if they are equipped to do it, they're probably less equipped to do it this week because the quarterback's hurt. It's just a matter of how bad the injury is, which we'll be talking about all week. And we probably won't know till game time.
No doubt about it. We'll see how it plays out. John, any other takeaways from what the coordinator said yesterday?
For the people, I asked Kellen about the passing game, and, God bless him, he chuckled. I threw the 65 net yards. Nobody's happy about the passing game. Nobody. So all these fans jumping around their swords and even these national media, nobody in that building is happy with the passing game, and I haven't been for a long time.
But are they getting to a point where they understand that they can win games without it? And obviously, it's something.
Well, they've already won games. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
That's what Nick says all the time. But I'm just speaking directly to the people who say you shouldn't talk about it. They talk about it every day. They're trying to fix it every single day. I think you hit almost, even with the injury, I think you hit rock bottom last week. Again, 65 now. I don't think people know how bad that is. I really don't. You had to go back 10 years to find another winner or loser. Losers in the playoffs. Nobody. Which tells you about the historic nature of this running game as well, to be able to overcome that.
Yeah. Saquon, freaking Barkley, and that offensive line, man, they deserve 2 rings if we win this damn Super Bowl.
Yeah, I wrote about it on SI yesterday. People should go check it out because I got 2 text messages out of the blue talking about, and I said it on the show yesterday, talking about how good this offensive line is. One said it might be one of the best of all time. And then I was watching the Becton block again, who, by the way, didn't even have a good game, at least from a consistency standpoint. Right. But on the 62-yard touchdown, my God, watch the Becton.
I know. Block. He destroyed that guy right out of the hole. And
that's poor Roseboom, who I've been ripping all week.
Oh, man.
He's out of his gap, number one. So you make it easier for a 365-pound monster, and then he just got him twice, and it's Landon Dickerson. My God, that guy is so physical, and he's not even healthy. He's been banged up all year.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about Jordan Mailata. He's, PFF has him the number one player in the NFL. The number one player in the NFL. Lane Johnson, Hall of Fame. And then Cam Jurgens, who has been unbelievable as the replacement for a legend. You rarely see that. Guys replacing a legend.
Yeah, that's why, yeah. People got mad at me when I asked the question about Kelsey, and I really didn't mean it as a knock on Kelsey. It was more of a credit to what Cam Jurgens is, but it is impressive where this offensive line has gone post Hall of Fame retirement. That's pretty crazy stuff there. John, to me, though, just to recap or finish up this conversation on the offense, and then I'm going to ask you something about the defense here. I still feel like, John, until somebody proves they can stop the run, that this team is going to march their way into a Super Bowl and potentially even win the Super Bowl. I feel great about winning the Super Bowl if you get there, but team can't stop the run, John. I haven't seen a team that can stop the run yet, man, in a long time on this team, and they keep getting better at it, and then they keep doubling down and tripling down on it, and Saquon Barkley keeps doing what he's doing. Until a team can stop the run, John, I don't know if we're ever going to – if any of these problems will ever
well, that's the hope,
Yeah.
But again, I point back, if you want to be honest, how close it was to going in a negative direction at the end of that game. If the Rams center just holds up on one particular play, we probably had clean out day. You and I are discussing the offseason. People are ripping the passing game to high hell. People are saying driving Kellen Moore to the airport, all that
People
nonsense.
be ripping Jaylen. People be ripping everybody.
That's how close you were. And I get it. Winning cures all ills. But that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the margin of error. That's how close it was against not a particularly great Rams team. The Commanders, they should beat the Commanders. And to be honest, they should beat the Bills or Chiefs from a talent perspective. So we'll see if they can finish it off, and then we can punt these discussions to down the road. But they're even if they win the Super Bowl, they're going to have these discussions, people, about fixing the freaking passing game.
Right.
Well, they already are, as I pointed out, but it's tough to do at this stage of the game, especially with the injuries, not only to Jaylen, but to AJ as well. And those guys, to their credit, are going to play through it. But yeah, I mean, they might finish it. They're the best. They're the most talented team left in the playoffs. I think that's fair to say.
No doubt.
But they were the most talented team the first time they played Kansas City.
That's true. Doesn't always work out when you're the more talented team. Sometimes the better quarterback wins. We'll see how it all plays out. John, Sam Cosmi out, torn ACL, done. Is Jaylen Carter going to destroy this game like he did last week?
Well, he might destroy it with Sam Cosmi in.
I know.
So, yeah, certainly there's that potential. And that's, as an Eagles fan, you should certainly hope for. Yeah, I mean, that guy, like I said yesterday, when we were having the discussion on the best player, I should have threw his name in the mix, and I didn't. And I regret that, because he is becoming so good so quickly in his career. Not that that's not expected. I mean, from day one, I've been talking about this guy, and I can't believe the rest of the NFL passed on him because they were scared. And look, again, I'll go back to Jeffrey Lurie, giving people the rope to take that kind of chance, which other cities, most notably Chicago, they can't do that. or they feel they can't do that. So, Jeffrey Lurie deserves a lot of credit as well.
Yep.
By the way, I never checked till right now. I was thinking about that Becton block. Roseman got an awful grade.
Oh, what did he grade out?
42.
Oh, that's a failing grade by every metric.
Yeah. Second worst player they had on the field defensively. And that's their middle linebackers getting
Who was their
destroyed.
worst?
Colby Durant, but he only played 22 snaps. So the guys who played significantly, Roseman was the worst. And that's certainly what I didn't even look until right now, because I was pretty confident. Yeah, he did not have his best game. And a lot of that had to do with the Eagles' offensive line as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bro, I want to thank everybody in the chat. We're going to get to some super chats here in just a second. So once I do that, I'll read some of them off. We have Brandon Lee Goutwin in hour number 2. So we got a good show planned for everybody today. And we are halfway through the week prepping for the NFC title game in Philly with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Let's see how it plays out. Seth Shifley checks in. What did both of you think of the Ben Johnson hire in Chicago? Good or meh for Caleb Williams' development and maturity at quarterback? Would Glenn follow him? I think it's a good hire for the offense. I'm curious to see how he handles all the things that John talks about constantly, that being a head coach is a lot more than just play calling. I think he's going to help Caleb, though.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to help Caleb. I mean, at the end there, they would just throw 10 smoke screens a game. I mean, they had nothing.
They were doing nothing to help him.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's definitely going to help from that perspective. But it is a much bigger job. It's not just – but you should – one of the things I criticize Chicago for is, when you draft a quarterback that high, you have to make sure everything in your organization is designed to help that quarterback reach his ceiling. And hiring or keeping a defensive coach who can't call a timeout like Matt Eberflus to help a kid is, basically a disaster in waiting. And it turned out to be a disaster. So having an offensive guy, number one, is the right thing to do when you draft a quarterback number 1 overall. And it shouldn't have taken him that long to realize it. So that'll help. But they're a bad organization, and that doesn't change even with hiring a good play caller. And they have been. And until they prove that they can make consistent good decisions, it's hard to imagine them, especially in that division. Because people can shit on the NFC North because they did poorly in the playoffs and the
0 playoff wins, which is crazy though for how successful that division was.
And that's like people shit on the SEC this year in college because they lost a bunch of bowl games. Well, they'll be fine. Detroit's not going to be as good because they've lost. Minnesota probably not.
It feels like all 3 of the big teams though could regress. Maybe not the Packers.
I don't know about the Packers.
Packers probably won't.
People think I'm a Packers fan because they always talk about the Packers. I do because I respect their organization. I don't respect Chicago's organization at all. Minnesota's sort of they make some good moves, bad moves.
And Detroit's getting there. They're getting better as an organization. Yeah. I'd say at least, obviously.
And they have so much talent. Are they going to take a step back? Yes, but remember how much they lost. And Aiden Hutchinson is coming back, and Alim McNeil is coming back, and all their cornerbacks are coming back. So, they still have a ton of talent. So that's not going to be the easiest division to deal with right away for Chicago.
Good stuff there, Seth. Appreciate that, John. You'll like this comment. Wild Bear checks in. Not going to lie, you guys are helping me understand football a bit more. So thank you. That's the point of the show, Wild Bear. We appreciate that comment. You listen to Johnny Mack, brother. You'll learn football. I promise you that. Seth Shifley checks in. I have a feeling that Ertz will be a sneaky factor. I don't think it's going to be sneaky.
I don't think it's sneaky at all. You better be ready for it.
I think he's going to be a factor for sure.
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I love Zach Ertz as a person. So, I'm kind of biased in Zach Ertz, but he's having a great season as well. And he's the guy. I mean, he's the guy Jayden Daniels is looking for in high leverage situations. And he's having a good year. Is he what he was at his height in Philadelphia? Of course not. But he's still, I mean, a lot of those fourth downs, and Eagles fans should know, if anybody knows about converting fourth downs, it's Zach Ertz. So on the biggest stages,
Yep.
He's still a really good player.
And he gets touchdown. I mean, he gets in the end zone too, man. Jayden Daniels looks for him in the red zone. So Ertz will most definitely be a factor. And I would even surmise to you that Zach Ertz is dreaming right now. He's visualizing destroying the Philadelphia Eagles, or at least getting a touchdown and some catches.
Yeah, I don't agree with. First of all, Zach loves. Well, he's competitive. He wants to beat anyone.
That's what I mean. Even if you love Philly, you want to go out there and say, "Hey, man, you should have kept me around there longer."
Yeah, well, that part of it. I mean, he's very competitive, but that's baked into it. Most NFL players are very competitive. Most, not all, but the vast majority are just, they want to win. Right. They're going out there. And Zach is certainly in that category, but he loves this city. He still does so much charity in this city. And he loved his time here. And if anything, he's more mad at, and how he made the right decision, but because Dallas is still better when he's on the field. I mean, Dallas has been great in these playoffs. Dallas Goedert.
Yes, he has. That's true.
And right now, he's the only guy. Right now, the Eagles' passing game is all about open receivers. You got to scheme guys open.
Yeah.
And Dallas is the one getting open. And he's getting open by significant margins.
A lot of Goddard's catches are coming, and there's no defender within 3 yards of him.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's like college-esque.
Yeah. So he's playing well. So the Eagles made the right decision. But yeah, I'm sure Zach wants to win, but he wanted to win last week. He's just a very competitive person.
Good stuff there. Brian Garner checks in. Appreciate everybody in the chat today. Good stuff, everybody. 5 days out from the NFC title. Brian Garner checks in. Our defense is allowed to mimic the QB cadence. I saw Lane mention that for the flinch. Sorry if you answered already, playing catch up this week. All good, Garner. Good to have you in here, brother.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a lot of I mean, I talk all the time. Jason Kelsey used to steal 18 inches on tush bushes. There's a lot of Mike Vrabel, interestingly, was just talking about, he got a rule change as a coach. He got a rule change as a player. And it was really interesting discussion. Back in the days on field goal block, he used to mimic timeouts. So when New England would call timeout, you can't call 2 consecutive timeouts now. But a lot of players don't know these. One of the biggest problems with the NFL, and I always say all the time, Zander, you know this, people really don't hate the officiating. They hate the legislation of the officiating. They hate the rules. And there's so many rules, people don't know them. Even players don't know.
Yeah, and you talk about that all the time. It's just over-legislated.
So Vrabel knew if he called timeout on field goal block, they wouldn't give it to him because they weren't allowed to give it to him. But if the offense didn't know that, and he would do it right in front of the tight end, he said, they think I'm calling timeout, and they might raise their hands, and it's a false start, and he just points at them, false start. And, it worked a couple times, and the NFL had to change the rule and say it's a delay of game on the defense if they try to do that now.
Right.
So, there's all these little intricacies inside that, smart players like Mike Vrabel would try to take advantage of. And generally, when somebody figures something out like that, they close the loophole the next season. But yeah, there's a lot of things that defenses do to mimic offenses. There's more, honestly, that the offense does to try to lure the defense offside. So, and Kelsey was phenomenal at that. Unbelievable at that kind of stuff. Not only stealing yardage, but getting guys to jump and things like that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, one other player I want to ask you about here for the Eagles coming into this game, this NFC title game, that I think is going to need to be a part of the game, and he hasn't been in the first two playoff games. And then we'll get to a commercial break. Is A.J. Brown. All right, he's got 3 catches for 24 yards in 2 playoff games this year. I know he's a little banged up. I understand the team's running the ball. John, it feels like you're going to have to get your wide receiver 1 involved for this team to go the distance. Do you expect him to be able to do that this week? Add in Jaylen's knee injury, maybe has to throw the ball a little bit more this week. Got to get A.J. Brown involved. You agree?
You would think, but how long have we been saying this?
I know.
It's but this week, if the running game is not there, but as you pointed out, nobody's been able to stop the running game. So just because you don't have the +1 impact, although if you go back to whatever it was, week 16, where Washington won, Barkley was effective early in that game, and then when Jaylen Hurts, it became much more difficult. Now the numbers are still there. 150 yards he had. I think he had a 68-yard touchdown. So the home run was still there. But remember that was in the first quarter. That was right at the end of the first quarter, which was, again, after Jaylen left. He left 6 minutes into the game, basically. So it's not like they can't have a big play, but it became the rest of the game from that point forward, from that 68-yard run forward, they stopped him,
Right.
without Jaylen Hurts' impact on the game. So that, I guess, is your concern. And then obviously you have to throw the ball. And in that particular instance, I mean, Kenny Pickett did enough to win that game. He did.
What was the best offensive game for the Eagles that Jaylen Hurts played the entire game? Was it Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, A.J. Brown had 11 targets, 8 catches, and 110 yards in that game with a touchdown.
Well,
there's no freaking coincidence there.
No, but they also threw it more because Pittsburgh is probably the team that, and that's what the Eagles envisioned. All right, if you're going to stop Saquon, if you're going to do all that to stop Saquon,
right,
we'll be able to throw the ball. And that was the one game where it kind of happened. I forget what Saquon had in that game. It's probably 70 yards.
Yeah, I think he had like 65 yards. I can look.
Yeah. So, that was one of his worst games. So they had to rely on the passing game. And I think that's what gives everybody hope.
Yeah, Saquon had 65 yards in that game, 19 carries for 65.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh did a good job. And
AJ and Devontae had 110 and 109.
Yeah, and I think that's the hope that everyone has, that, all right, well, if you're going to stop Saquon, we're just going to throw it to those guys. And maybe you're right. They did it once. I don't know. It's here's the deal. Like, if you haven't used, I don't know, your car for 3 weeks and you want to go out and start it today, good luck.
It's creaky.
Good luck. It might limp along for a while and then get going. Just assuming you're going to turn something on after ignoring it for so long. They have so much talent, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. But, acting like a small sample size of Pittsburgh means it's going to happen consistently. is ignoring all the other times where it didn't happen consistently. And, this entire time, which people say it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Well, it matters to the Eagles because they've been trying to fix it this entire time.
How much of it do you put on Kellen Moore?
Not much. I mean, I said yesterday, and I got a couple nice comments yesterday, so that's nice. So thank you to those people. But somebody tweeted me and said, thanks for saying, and I said to myself, I've been saying this for months. I mean, the offense looks the same. Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
And everybody defaults to the coordinator.
Well, who many people are in Twitterverse, which is basically like La La Land for many people, but they all say it's Nick Sirianni. That's why the offense looks the same.
Well, yeah. Boy.
I mean, look, I don't have to talk about that with you because we've broken that down ad nauseum on this show. Our viewers know, but that's this line of thinking that exists out in Eagle Land where, oh, it's Nick Sirianni. That's why it looks exactly the same.
Well, I know people do that.
Yeah, I get it all the time.
I would encourage those people to look in the mirror and be real with themselves. Again, Philadelphia is so provincial, and it's not the only city. I mean, they're hyper-focused on their own team, which is understandable. Nick Sirianni had a life before Philadelphia. And when was the offensive coordinator in Indianapolis, he had 3 different quarterbacks that built 3 different offenses around those quarterbacks. And people will say that when you say that, they parry with, oh, well, that was Frank Reich. Well, Frank Reich gives Nick credit. So I don't know. Ask what you want. Not to mention, you're watching this guy advance to the freaking NFL championship game. He's got the 3rd best winning percentage by a head coach in the Super Bowl era, trailing only John Madden and George Allen. You got to go back to the 60s and 70s. I mean, and this guy's the problem? I mean, it's like excuses at all costs to not blame the players. And the players deserve all the credit as well when the team wins. But when the team loses, guess what? They got a part of it, and they don't lose much. They've lost what, like 1 game in 3 months with a backup quarterback and a drop pass by Devontae Smith, which never happens.
Yeah, it never happens.
And this guy's a freaking problem. I don't know. I don't get those people.
All right, well, I'll play the other side of it, and I'm not necessarily saying I agree with the other side of it, but just to further the conversation, to try and bring more context to what people talk about. Jose, thank you for being in the chat, brother. I appreciate it. All right, he pushes back, and he's not – I saw some of his comments earlier. He wasn't absolving Jaylen completely, but he does say this. Jaylen has a passer rating of 103 with a 68% completion percentage with a 2K rushing game. I'm just saying – is it efficiency that's the problem? It doesn't feel like it because the numbers in terms of the completion percentage are all there and aren't bad. In fact, they might be the best in his career completion percentage-wise. How do you quantify that? How do you explain that to somebody that might not fully understand the problems of the passing game? Because they look and they say, hey, we got a great running game, and Jaylen has been efficient with no turnovers, right? People look at that and think that that's good. That's viable. That's what we need to win. And you have seen quarterbacks win Super Bowls doing that, by the way. Peyton Manning didn't have his best game in one of the Super Bowls. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's first Super Bowl, he had
those are better examples of there's other ways to win while not leaning on the quarterback, which again is certainly possible. But again, what I always try to explain, you're trying to increase the margin of error, not decrease it.
Yeah,
not to say you can't win. For anybody who talks about passer rating, which is literally the worst statistic in the history of the world for two reasons. For two reasons. And you sent me that sack one. Sacks are close as well. Thank you for sending
That was a great clip, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because
Thought
I've
you'd
been
like
talking
that.
about that for years, so I'm
Yes,
glad.
you have.
And I like when people try to elevate that conversation. But for all the people that flippantly throw out passer rating, and I'm being conservative here, I guarantee you 99% of them don't know how it's even calculated. So why is that relevant to you? The passer rating basically here's what it comes down to. If you throw a lot of interceptions, you're going to have a bad passer rating. If you don't, you're going to have a very good passer rating. The Eagles have specifically gone risk averse. I've explained this since the bye week 5. And Jaylen Hurts has done a tremendous job taking care of the football ball security. That's why he has a good passer rating. They also don't try many splash plays anymore. They don't try to stretch the field, air yards, 20 yards or more. I think he's at 10 in 10 games, might be 11 in 10 games. And it's a delicate tightrope, but their belief is, and this is Nick Sirianni more than the organization, because he's the one who shipped it in season, is that if they don't turn the football over, they're going to win because they're so talented. And to date, he has been 100% correct. They win.
Yep.
They win when they don't turn the football over.
I think they're 9-0. Yeah, 9-0.
So I'm not going to shit on his thought process there because it's proven to be successful over a multi-month period. However, again, I point to the end. That's a game that shouldn't be. You shouldn't have heart palpitations at the end of that game against the Rams. But you did because it was that close, because they weren't able to take advantage of certain situations offensively, and usually it's hindered by the passing game. Not always, but usually. When they got set up inside the 10-yard line, you have a Lane Johnson false start. And for all the talk about 205 yards, remember the vast chunk of that was on 2 runs. So the Rams did do some good jobs in the running game.
Yeah.
At times, but they give up, home runs. I don't know how anyone can say other than, why is the incessant need to say this passing game is okay? When everybody in the building, forget about me.
Right.
Watched the first question of Kellen Moore, or I think it was first or second, was from me about the passing game. Look at his reaction. Nobody won 65 net passing yards in an NFL postseason game. Doesn't mean you can't win. They did win. You want to go in this week and say, all right, we'll win with 65 net passing yards. If you are, you're an idiot.
What it means is, John, you run the ball for 280 and you still have and Matthew Stafford still has a chance to win the game in the last minute. That's what it means, really.
Exactly.
Small margin.
I don't know why people can't just admit the obvious. Jaylen said it himself multiple times. He'll probably say it again today. Everybody wants it to get better. And you've had this back and forth about Jaylen kind of saying, well, not necessarily it's what I want to do. Other times he says, sacrificing. Then he says it's going to look like Jaylen Ertz wants it to look. So he's been, he's contradicted himself at times. But I guarantee you, even if they win the Super Bowl when the parade is over and they get back to work, the first thing on the docket is improve the passing game.
First thing on the docket. All right, Johnny Mac, what's on the agenda today for the Philadelphia Eagles? Will we learn anything today about QB1 and where he is injury-wise?
Yeah, we're going to get an estimated injury report late in the afternoon. Reporters like myself are not going to get to see him on the practice field. The Eagles went to a closed walkthrough. So it's only going to be an estimation. My best guess will be limited. And I don't think they want reporters to see him until as late as possible.
It's giving me shades of that Packers game early. Remember they were hiding Jordan Love from the media with the shoulder. Are they hiding Jalen Hurts from the media? Yeah,
a little bit. Now they can't. He's got to be out there on Thursday. We'll see him. But part of it's the weather. They don't want to practice in this nonsense outside. It'll start to warm up a little bit to where they can at least get to Lincoln Financial Field. So I'm not saying 100%, but a little bit is the gamesmanship. Washington is probably looking at, Dr. Chow as well. They know something's wrong, and that'll be up to Bobby Wagner and Frankie Luvu on game day to figure out, all right, how much of the toolbox does he have? And they're not going to know that, and you're not going to know that, and I'm not going to know that until game day.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to speculate on that throughout the week. We'll see what Jaylen can do. The one thing we know is that Jaylen's going to play the game. How effective will he be will be the next question, and we will see that. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to remind everybody, all right, we did a little Zander time giveaway after the show yesterday. We'll do another one today. We got a bunch of Legend members yesterday, so we're going to do a Legend giveaway today as well. So big thanks to all you guys. I'll share the link out. A lot of you guys wanted to upgrade yesterday and couldn't quite figure it out. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I'll pin it to the top. So if you're one of the people that is a great supporter, and we appreciate it very much, you can go ahead and do that. We'll have that giveaway after the show today. Let's get to our first commercial break. We appreciate all of you guys being in here. Don't forget to hit that like button. NFC title game coming up. We should have more than 86 likes. Come on, people. Show some love to JAKIB Sports. Show some love to Birds 365. We appreciate you guys doing it. I'm going to tell you guys about the great people at BetUS, and then we will come back and more. So see the promo code I just put on your screen. It's YouTube 150. I've been showing you it all year. It gives you a 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit, all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. They have the fastest payouts in the industry, 24/7 customer support, and they'll even give you your own custom account manager. So go check them out today, and a big thanks to them for sponsoring the 2-hour show today. We'll be back in 3 minutes, everybody, on Birds 365.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to a Wednesday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. We're 5 days out from the NFC title game in Philadelphia versus the division rival Washington Commanders, led by our rookie sensation, I guess you could say at this point, Jayden Daniels. What a player he is, Johnny Mac. It was good to hear Vic talk about him. You know they're not taking him lightly, prepping for this game. He has been tremendous for that team and has completely flipped an entire franchise. So definitely not taking him lightly, but 5 days out, man, from hosting an NFC title game. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good if you're an Eagle fan or if you're somebody
getting used to it, getting that Green Bay entitlement going on. Enjoy the
blame
journey.
us, blame the owner. You remember when they won the Super Bowl, John?
Yeah, the new normal,
the gold standard.
Yeah, he well, he said that with the during the Patriots era. He regrets that one, the gold standard, but the new normal, that was the Doug era, which didn't turn out to be true right away. Is becoming true as a whole. Like if Kansas City didn't exist, which they do, unfortunately, people would be talking about these 3 NFC championship games, and even Andy here, I mean, did a better job reaching NFC championship games. But this is pretty impressive, to the point you have a whole generation of people that don't know the Eagles used to stink many years ago, because they've been so consistently good. This century, I mean, they're number 2, basically.
Pretty impressive, no doubt about it. Let's go to a super chat here. And Martine, thanks for checking in, brother. I appreciate you. He says, just curious, John, what's the difference between Shane Steichen's 2022 offense over Sirianni, Brian Johnson, and Moore when they controlled it? Best Hurts was 22-23.
Because he played better? Mechanically, it's very similar. If you watch the games, if you watch the plays, he was runner-up, and deservedly so, runner-up for MVP that season. So when you're playing at that type of level, he's not playing at that type of level. So that's number one. But mechanically, the offense is very, very similar. Now, again, people aren't going to like this, but I try to tell the truth. There are unintended consequences to everything. The Eagles had a dominant running game in 2022. Now they have an historic running game. And they had to lean on the passing game more, so it was better. They don't have to lean on the passing game more, and that hurts it as well. Like when they're forced to throw it, there's no coincidence when they're forced to throw it, they look better. You know. But the equation in Nick Sirianni's mind is, what are we better at? And he made that decision back in week 5. And he decided to lean on Saquon and the offensive line.
Right.
Now, it was good. You know, remember, the Eagles' running game was phenomenal with Miles Sanders. It was phenomenal with DeAndre Swift. They both made Pro Bowls. Miles completely fell off the table. DeAndre, bad team, certainly not the same. You can see the difference. What the offensive line helps with running backs, but nobody's had more 200-yard rushing games before in the Nick Sirianni era, before Saquon Barkley got here. They've always been dominant. They've just, again, dominant has become historic. And there's an unintended consequence to that. And it has limited the passing game. Partially by design. The second part is they were turning it over early this season, and they didn't want to turn it over. So when a lot of people say, well, why is Jaylen, bootlegging on 2nd and 7 and falling down? Well, he's hyper focused on ball security. So there's a tightrope there, and right now he's leaning towards, and I use the term risk averse all the time. He's tremendously risk averse right now. So you're not going to see 2022, 2023 until they allow him to play like 2022 and 2023. And right now they're not allowing him to do it. So when people say I criticize Jalen Hurts, well, I number one, they don't listen to all the good stuff I say about him. But right now he's not allowed to be dominant. By design. It's hard to argue with it. They keep winning.
I think they're going to win this weekend, too. We're going to be prepping for a fucking Super Bowl, baby. We'll see how it plays out this weekend. Got Jayden Daniels and the Commanders coming in. John, I mentioned him as kind of a rookie sensation. Is he the best rookie quarterback you've ever seen?
Yeah, Vic got asked that question. And he said,
probably, right? Yeah,
probably.
Probably.
I mean, CJ was pretty good last year.
Yeah, I don't think he was this good.
Yeah, he's probably the best. I'll defer to Vic, probably. Now, I mean, if you want to go back to Dan Marino, he was pretty good. Is that his rookie season or his second season? I'd have to look it up. No, but I mean, that's why I hesitate. You got to think about it. There's some great quarterbacks. But he's, if you're in the conversation and he's in the conversation, and yeah, it was his second year. So probably. He's the best rookie quarterback.
Well, he's impressive, and so is Dan Quinn, who's been really good this year for them as a coach as well. The other, the one other thing I took away from watching our game again versus them in December, I was like, boy, John is really right. Dan Quinn plays these games to win, man. He does not. He's got his, he
yeah,
I mean, on the line, man. He goes for it.
Well, Dan Quinn learned, I think, from the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because I mean, if they were aggressive in that game, he has a Super Bowl championship. And then I think you also have to be honest with yourself. It's really difficult to not, to be honest with yourself in the NFL. And I criticize Sean McVay. He's got to understand he's on the road in a hostile environment against a better team. And you don't win games like that by being cautious or being, and it might blow up in your face, and you might become, and people are going to, when you do that, as Dan Campbell found out the year prior, the less forward thinking of pundits are going to shit on you. But I mean, if you have an ownership that supports you, you can do stuff like that. A lot of things go into it. But clearly, you have to be aggressive to win a game like that. And Dan Quinn has figured that out. And he seems to be comfortable with the knowledge that Josh Harris is going to support him, and the organization is going to support him, and now he's allowed to do it, and he becomes a bigger problem because he's allowed to do it. Doesn't mean the Eagles can't stop it. The Eagles could stop it and blow them out because, if you're at the 49-yard line and it's 4th and 2 and you're going for it and the Eagles stop it, well, it's coming the other way.
Right.
Well, you ain't winning this game by being cautious. You ain't winning this game by flipping the field.
No.
You ain't winning this game like Sean McVay kicking field goals. You're not. Dan Quinn seems to have enough self-awareness to realize that, all right, same thing in Detroit. They're more talented, even with all the injuries. We gotta play a certain way. And if they play well, you can shock the world. And I imagine he's coming here to win. So the Eagles have to be prepared for that. And I'm sure Vic knows that. Vic talked about it yesterday. He knows it.
Yep, good stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, I want to talk to you about one other thing. We're going to get to Brandon Lee Gouton in about 12 minutes from now. He'll join us at 9:20. So looking forward to talking to BLG from Bleeding Green Nation. Let's talk AFC a little bit, John. Chiefs, Bills are left in the AFC. The winner of the NFC will obviously play the winner of that game. I know obviously we don't watch as much AFC as you'd like. You're working so hard covering the Philadelphia Eagles and everything that goes on in this world. But what's your early thoughts on that game? And then we'll get into obviously the question that everybody else is asking. Who's the better matchup for the Eagles? And I'm not going to take the same approach with you. A lot of people want to say, let's play the Chiefs to get the rematch.
No,
I want to ask you. Yeah, I'm with you, John. I don't want the fucking Chiefs.
Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, all day. But I do want to ask you about the matchups
1,000.
and what team kind of matches up better with the Eagles. So just your thoughts on the AFC, the two teams left, and what you're seeing over on that side.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, Josh Allen can win any game because he's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But I would much rather face Buffalo. If you're in the Super Bowl, you're going to face a good team. So I always say you can talk yourself into stuff in the NFL. But if you look at the whole thing, and Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and all the experience, to say you want the Kansas City Chiefs is, and then you got people who think the refs are on their side, all that group. Like why in God's name would you want Kansas City? And it's more like Mahomes is they're not very explosive. So I get it from that standpoint. And they haven't been really since Tyreek Hill left, but he's got the ability to make plays, and you saw it in the last Super Bowl. He's got the ability to extend the sticks. And when he does it, but that defense in big situations, they're coming. Spagnuolo is more aggressive than Brian Flores in big situations, and I don't think this team handles zero pressure very well. And I'm talking about the Eagles. I don't think they handle it well.
Seems to be a little bit boomer bust. Like Jeff Kerr put out the stats from the game. Jaylen was like 6 of 7, but he had 3 sacks. So if you're the Chiefs in that situation, you're happy with that because that's 3 times you got him off the field probably.
Yeah, I love Jeff, but Jeff is very.
Yeah, he pulls a lot of stats.
Very,
not all of them have great meaning.
No.
Yeah.
Look, I've been watching Jaylen since day one. Getting the football out quick is not a strength. It hasn't been a strength. When he was playing at an MVP level, it's not a strength now. Kansas City knows that and will exploit it. Buffalo will not. Yeah, to me, that's not even a debate. Would I rather play Buffalo or Kansas City?
Me too. But John, people, and look, I get it from a fan perspective because the fans don't play the game. So the emotional bigger feat is obviously beating the Chiefs and writing the rematch and knocking off the the team going for the 3P. That's what everybody wants. That makes sense though, right? I mean, I'm not saying I want them.
Well, sure, from an historic standpoint to be
and
the
from
team.
just the fandom and
yeah, but I mean, I'm just thinking about winning a Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Give me the Bills, John.
And everything else, look, and people say it now, and well, Detroit lost and Minnesota lost and the NFC North, like I said before. Hey, man, I'd rather play, I'd rather play the Rams, and they got to play the Rams. I'd rather play the Commanders, and they get to play the Commanders, and I'd rather play the Bills. So everything's broke well, and hopefully it continues to break well for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. How do you think we match up with the Bills team? Obviously, they're the funny part about them is they're not this great roster. They're really not. It's Josh Allen, man. I mean, he makes it happen with that team, running, passing, whatever he's got to do. It seems like he finds a way to win games. I told you, I think he's the best football player in the world right now at this moment. I know Lamar is great. I'm not knocking Lamar when I say that. It's a push. It's a toss up. But right now, I'm taking Josh Allen. I think what he's done to elevate that roster is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I know he took exception to that. I saw a clip, but people talking about their roster, and look, he's the classic, and you can make a strong argument that he's the best player in the world. He's the classic, elevates people around him type of quarterback. He can beat you by himself, basically. But they have good players. James Cook is a very good player. For years they didn't have any running game. Now they have Cook and Ty Johnson. The receivers, everybody laughed about him, but all of a sudden Coleman got a little bit better. They brought in Amari Cooper, and the best of them all is Shakur. He's their best receiver, and because he plays in Buffalo, people don't know him, but he's a good player. Their tackles are really good. Deion Dawkins is a Temple guy. He's been good for a long time. Spencer Brown is their other tackle. He's really good. So they have good players, but everybody in the NFL has good players. Overall, they don't look like a Super Bowl team on paper. And you're right, elevating, especially defensively, by the way. They're not very awe-inspiring defensively. Now they're pretty good up front. Russo's having a good year. Ed Oliver's a good player.
Yep.
Von Miller's still Von Miller, but he's very situational now these days. He's not, playing 90% of the snaps. And then their back seven isn't very good. Now Milano's their best player probably, but he was hurt for most of the season. So that impacted them. And then, they're not very good on the back end. So I look at that Kansas City defense and Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie and all the blitzing, and even Chanel, guys people don't know about. Karlaftis is turning it on. I think Kansas City's got the much better defense.
Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. We're going to talk to BLG coming up in just a minute. I can't wait to talk to BLG, see what he thinks about where this team is, where the passing game is, how much of a concern it might be. You keep saying it, John, though, in the postgame show. There's only 2 hurdles left. So I don't know if it's even worth it at this point to keep saying, all right, it's one of those things where they're either going to get got or they're not, and if they don't, obviously it's all going to be good. If they get got, people here on Birds 365 who are mad that we're talking about it are going to be the same people in the chat who
they're going to be my best friend if that happens. So, I don't it's tough to me because I wish people would realize, and the only way you're going to realize is for it to happen. That's why, I wish people could open their eyes to last week and see how close it was. And that that's a game they should have won pretty easily, to be honest. And they didn't. and they were Jaylen Carter pass rush away from losing the game, which would have been burn the city down type of angst. Losing that game. Could you imagine losing that game?
John, you already know what all the people aren't ready for that conversation, but this city would be on fire for the whole.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
About the quarterback, about Kellen. They'd be saying to fire Kellen.
Well, Kellen, yeah. I mean, Kellen, but that's hilarious to me. People shitting on Kellen Moore after the offseason. But it's like, I get it from a fan perspective. The savior, the motion, he's going to scheme people open. You wait and see. How much of that did I get in the offseason? And now we're right back into the muck. Oh, they can't get anybody open. Oh, Orlovsky said nobody's open. Unless you're Dallas Goedert running free, like you're Alabama playing. I don't know who's the worst team they played, Zander.
They lost them. No, I'm just kidding. They play like Alabama, A&M.
No, I mean in their prime. With Nick Saban. Alabama playing, Vanderbilt with Nick Saban, not the goofball they have now.
Mercer. How about Mercer?
Mercer, yeah. Mercer College, Mercer University. Sorry, Mercer. Whatever you are. Yeah, I mean, you don't run open 5 yards a lot in the NFL like you do in college. And sometimes guys are open and the ball's got to come out when they are open because it's closing. The window's closing quickly.
Yep. Speaking of Nick Saban, did you see that clip that he had talking about Jaylen on the McAfee show?
I did not.
Oh, I think
he loves Jaylen though, so I assume.
No, but it was a good clip. It wasn't. It was a. He obviously is not a guy that criticizes players. You're never going to hear Saban criticize players, but he did give great context as to basically when I coached a player like Jaylen, and we did this specifically with Jaylen, who has that dual threat ability, who's been athletically superior to everybody his entire life, and has always been able to run around. We had practice. We had 7-on-7 at practice. Quarterbacks weren't allowed to run. If you ran, blew the play dead, run it over. And that's how he approached practice with quarterbacks like that, because he told them, eventually you're going to have to sit in the pocket and make a throw. Eventually that time is going to come. And Nick explaining it was really good. So I'll send that to you, John, on Twitter. It was like a minute long. It was good. Really good clip, but good stuff. Let's get to our commercial break. I see our man BLG in the green room. All right, I'm going to do a quick live read at BetUS, and then we'll come right back and bring up Brandon Lee Gouton from Bleeding Green Nation. So good stuff there. You can see the promo code I put on your screen, everybody. All right, it's YouTube 150. It's 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit, all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And a big thanks to them for sponsoring the 2-hour show today. We got a couple super chats that we're going to get to. Don't worry. We'll get to all of you. And we're going to go to BLG now. Ms. Pumper, Charles Menifee, we'll get to your super chats right when we end up with Brandon Lee Gouton. Let's go to BLG now here on Birds 365. BLG, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Excited, guys. Another NFC Championship game here in Philadelphia.
Another one.
Yeah.
People are getting spoiled. It's almost like Kansas City, BLG. Not quite, but it has been a tremendous run of success for this team. I guess we'll start it out because we were just talking about Jalen Hurts and Nick Saban. There's only 8 quarters left. I can't believe they won with 65 net passing yards, but they did. Is it just time to say this is what it is? That's for the offseason. You're going to ride this running game, this offensive line, this defense, and maybe something clicks in the passing game, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, look, Matthew Stafford is out here having like 300-something passing yards in that game. So I don't want to entirely say, weather is the only factor. I think it's one of many factors. And I don't think the passing game was super close to being awesome. But I do think it was a little bit closer to being, better than 65 net passing yards in terms of, you have the AJ Brown drop, you have the Devontae Smith catch that gets broken up. There's the penalty. AJ actually had 2 drops in this game. I think they're a little bit closer there, to having, more of at least like acceptable kind of performance than the 65 net passing yards. So, no, that doesn't, again, make me feel like, okay, they're going to light it up and have 300 this week, but it does make me feel like, okay, they can probably still do enough because that defense is that good.
BLG, I'm starting to think more and more, though. Yeah, and we talked about it all show already. Obviously, it's a problem with the passing game, but until someone stops the run, BLG, they're just going to run their way to a Super Bowl at this point. That's what it feels like to me. It's funny because it almost defies everything that the modern NFL is set up to be. I looked up a Super Bowl MVP being a running back hasn't happened since Super Bowl 32 with Terrell Davis. And that was 27 Super Bowls ago. So we might be breaking history here. We might be making history here.
Saquon might break his record for Terrell Davis's records. Probably will. Certainly will if the Eagles get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but can they just run their way to a Super Bowl, BLG? Is that what it looks like this team's going to do?
Yeah, what's he need, like 148 to get ahead of Terrell Davis for the most ever by a running back in one season, including the playoffs? He might do that in this game alone.
Yeah.
I think the most ever in a Super Bowl is 205, I think.
He might
Timmy Smith.
Yeah, Timmy Smith. That's it, John. Yep.
Great Timmy Smith.
I think Saquon is unstoppable right now. I mean, because even if you, however many offensive plays there are, even if you're getting him for a loss on a lot, or relatively containing him on most of those plays, all he needs, as we've seen, is just the 1-2 kind of explosive runs that can change the game. The Rams, I think, did a good job for the most part, on a lot of plays defending him and limiting him. But when they didn't, obviously it cost them in a huge way. And that's the kind of, ability that he has. And, once he breaks into the open field, everyone in the whole stadium knows he's gone. So I do think he is that good, and I do think he's unstoppable.
It was funny because after the game, unprompted, BLG, I hadn't thought about this, but there's a couple former GMs I talked to, and people who watch this show long term probably know who texted me, but 2 different ones texted me, not in concert. One of them said, basically, this offensive line is one of the best I've ever seen. And the other one said, this offensive line is one of the greatest of all time. And I started to think, I hadn't thought about it in that way. And I started thinking, is this one of the greatest offensive lines of all time? And I think the answer might be yes, which is amazing considering they're coming off losing a 6-time All-Pro Hall of Fame center. But then you look at the first Saquon Barkley touchdown. Mekhi Becton is blowing poor Roseboom off the line of scrimmage. And the second one, you got the Cam Jurgens reach block. You got the Jordan Mailata seal block. We all talk about MVPs. Is it Lamar Jackson? Is it Josh Allen? Is it Saquon Barkley? It's the MVPs of the NFL, the Eagles' offensive line.
I mean, so you have the Saquon stuff that much is apparent, but it's also those chokeout drives that they go on, which they haven't done, I guess, super recently, but they are quite capable of doing, as we've seen this season. Was it in the Steelers game? They really went on that crazy, what was it, 13 huge play or one of these, or 20,
they had 10-minute drive, 9-minute drive. Yeah.
21 plays, 88 yards, 10 minutes, 20. That to me, that's kind of that's the hallmark of this offensive line at their best, and really the Eagles at their best, when they just kind of just impose their will. And I think that kind of speaks to the offensive line and the dominance they have up front and how they can just kind of control the game. And they'll go up against a tough run defense like the Steelers had or whoever, and it doesn't matter. They're still going to get theirs at the end of the day, and I think that's what great units do.
BLJ, how do you figure going into this game, going up against Jayden Daniels? I think he's I've called him a rookie sensation. I think that's obviously proven at this point, one of the best rookie quarterbacks ever to be in the NFL. How do you handle him this week, BLG? He's one of those guys, I kind of compared him to a different style, but he almost reminds me of 22 Hertz, where you can't really get him down. He makes plays when it breaks down. He picks up first downs on, 4th and 11, he picked up a first down versus us in the week 15 game or whatever week that was. How do you handle Jayden Daniels coming into this game if you're Vic Fangio?
It's tough. I mean, like you said there, he's playing really well. And since that Eagles game, where he had a great performance to beat them with the 22 points in the fourth quarter there. I mean, he has 7 touchdowns. He's 1 interception. He's 103.4 passer rating. He's also run for 241 yards. I mean, he's hard to stop. He's hard to stop. Obviously, the Eagles had more success against him in the first game. Some of that due to probably Jayden Daniels still being a little bit banged up at that point in the season. But, I do think for as much as we are talking about Jayden Daniels, and there's no reason to doubt him, he has been great. Vic Fangio has also been very good this year. And I know there were the struggles there late in the fourth quarter, as I just outlined in that last Commanders game. But still, the Eagles have intercepted Jayden Daniels 3 times in these 2 meetings. So I think there's clearly something there to Vic being able to confuse him a little bit or, kind of generate these big plays. I think really the key in this game is coming down to the key that the Eagles won and beat the Rams, which is Mr. Jaylen Carter being as dominant as he is and the ability to take over again. And especially with Sam Cosmi not in there, because I think Jaylen Carter's had, good moments against the Commanders this year, but I think Sam Cosmi's also a really good offensive lineman who also had, his fair share of wins in those battles as well. And for Washington to not have him anymore, I mean, he's probably their best offensive lineman. Jaylen Carter needs to take advantage and take over the game.
Well, BLG, just one follow-up real quick, John, before you jump in. Eagles defense is great. I'm with you. Number 1 in the NFL. They've proven all year that we should trust them. Last time we played the Commanders, Jayden Daniels had 5 touchdowns. All right, last week versus the Rams, Matthew Stafford threw for 330 in the snow. I'm not saying they're not going to be great, but they also can be got, So I wonder how that plays out in this game and whether the Eagles defense will be able to hold. I think they will, but I do think that's worth mentioning, coming into this game. There's definitely some things that this Commanders team could exploit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, I think the defense, I mean, they won the game for the team in that second Commanders game. Like, they did their part to give the offense the ball back, and the offense, obviously, they failed to really, Devontae Smith drops the ball there. But if he doesn't, the defense did their part in that game.
Right, that's true.
So not pretty, my thing is, I think they're capable of doing enough to pull their weight. Obviously, the offense has to do their part too.
Right.
Yeah, I want to talk about Jaylen Carter, so I'm glad you brought him up. But before that, because you made a good point, I think people forget Jayden Daniels was dealing with a rib, I believe it was a rib injury in the first game. And it was probably his worst game, I would say, except for the opener where it was not good against Tampa Bay. And everybody was like, oh, this guy stinks. And all of a sudden he turns it on and becomes what he has become. And I bring that up to the point, I think a lot of people say, well, he's out there, he's got to be healthy. That's not the case with NFL players. So to me, the key is the other Jaylen, and how healthy is Jalen Hurts? None of us are going to know. The Eagles have moved to a closed walkthrough today. Now, part of that, I think, BLG, is the weather. I mean, the fields are frozen at NovaCare. They probably just want to go inside. But some of it is probably they don't want people to see Jalen Hurts this early in the week. Similar, Zander brought up Jordan Love. That's what Green Bay did with Jordan Love, who was banged up. None of us are going to know, but do you think Jalen Hurts, he's not going to be 100%, but do you think he's going to be enough to be the Jalen Hurts, the +1 Jalen Hurts, the mobility Jalen Hurts, or is it going to turn into more of a pocket game for him? And if that's the case, could that be an issue?
Yeah, until I see otherwise, I am just going to assume that we're going to see more of what they usually like to do with Jalen Hurts. I don't know, that it's going to be, it's not going to be the game probably where he sets a career record for rushing attempts or yards or whatever. But I don't think that element is, I have a hard time believing that's just going to go away entirely until I actually see it happen, because that's just not how they really play. Right. So, yeah, I kind of have to see it first to believe it.
You believe he can pass if he needs to pass this week? But let's just say he can't run well. I mean, that's obviously going to change the offensive game plan, the offensive identity. Obviously, you still have Saquon Barkley, but I do think Jaylen helps with that, with the +1. You have confidence he'll be able to pass BLG if needed this week?
I mean, he should against this Commanders defense. Like, they that defense has not been playing well, especially since they faced the Eagles. They're allowing 380 yards per game since then, and like that's not a good number. Spoiler alert. So, I mean, I think this defense is able to be had, and for AJ Brown's struggles, like I don't think he's going to drop the ball twice again, and it's just, and he hasn't really gotten going in the postseason yet. Feels like he's due. He's too good of a player to be like held down like this for this long. I know he's banged up too, but I just refuse to believe that what he's done in the postseason thus far, is going to continue. I think he's going to get more, opportunities here, and he's specifically played well against the Commanders in both games this season, especially more so in that last one there. So, I do think Jaylen in the passing game can get it going against this defense.
All right, the other Jaylen, as I promised, Jaylen Carter, as you brought up, BLG. The Eagles played 71 defensive snaps. He played 69 of them, and he's wrecking the game on the final drive, on the final 2 plays for the Los Angeles Rams of the season. So that was plays 68, 69, and he's having that kind of impact on the game. Just how good is Jaylen Carter? Can we put him in the conversation with the Chris Joneses of the world and say he's there? He's already there.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, obviously, hasn't won championships yet like Chris Jones, but like is approaching that kind of difference maker, really kind of fitting in a way that Jaylen Carter has that game against the Rams team that no longer has Aaron Donald. And you're kind of like, okay, this could be like the NFL's next Aaron Donald. Like I think that's a reasonable, like, I don't think there's any kind of thing you can say about Jaylen Carter, like that's almost like too out of reach or too hyperbolic. Like I think he deserves like any kind of, like if you're going to say like, he can be defensive player of the year next year. Like, yeah, of course. Like that's absolutely on the table. He is that good. He is that impactful. He is just a special, special player.
BLJ, AJ Brown, I brought it up to John. He got 3 catches for 24 yards in the first 2 playoff games. That just feels egregious to me. I know we have Saquon Barkley. I know that the passing game is not what this team does well. Does he need to get going for this team to go to the Super Bowl? I think it's going to be a big game for him. I'm hoping it's a big game for him. I think with a player like that, you should get him involved by any means necessary. Your thoughts on AJ Brown? Maybe it's injury related. Your thoughts on AJ Brown through the first 2 games and what you expect from him this game?
Yeah, I think they just have to force feed him a bit more. Again, he had 0 drops all season long. I don't think he had a drop dating back until like week 16 or something.
Yeah,
of
all season.
Yeah. Season.
He pulled a Gary Anderson.
Right. So, again, not expecting that to really be an issue here. You just have to force feed him. You have to get him targets. The last game they played against the Commanders, and obviously Kenny Pickett was quarterback for most of that game. They targeted him 15 times. He had 8 for 97, right. and he had more yards than that because there was multiple of those pass interference penalties called on Marshawn Lattimore against him too. So
killing Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just think you have to force feed him the ball. He's simply too good to have as low of production he's had to this point, and I think he will deliver.
I do have one concern defensively. And I don't think it's shown up to this point, but I think it might show up this week. I tried to get Vic Fangio to bite on it. He would not. Typical Vic. Kobe Dean, I think, is a big loss. Everybody has injuries. Hasn't shown up. Oren Burks has played well. You haven't really had that running back who can impact the passing game. Josh Jacobs is good, but he's more of a dump-off guy. You just dump it off to him. Austin Eckler can run routes. He's one of those guys. He can run option routes. He can run angle routes. He can run wheel routes. The first time they played, he missed the second game. He was all they had. I think he had like 8 catches for 89 yards, somewhere almost 100 yards as a running back in the receiving game. Not that, I don't think any linebacker matches up with a running back like that. And that's why you try to get those guys in space and match them up with linebackers. But Nakobe's good. He's got a high football IQ. He's where he's supposed to be. We saw the Super Bowl last year. It turned with the Dre Greenlaw injury. Oren Burks had to come in. They took advantage of that. If you're Cliff Kingsbury, are you trying to take advantage of Oren Burks?
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, yeah, Eckler at 8 for 89 in that first Eagles game. He was their leading receiver. Running back was their leading receiver in that first game there. So, and as you pointed out, again, also didn't play in that second one. So absolutely, I think a relevant factor in this one. Oren Burks did actually play a little bit in that last Commanders game because Nakobe had missed a drive there. He had 6 snaps. So I guess he's seen some of them, or he's got the firsthand experience playing against them a little bit there. And I think he had a really good game against the Rams relative to, standards of your third linebacker. There's been plenty of Eagles starting linebackers who have been way worse than Oren Burks has been as a third option off the bench there. So, yeah, I mean, I expect the Commanders to absolutely try to stress him and test that further. But I think he could be up for the challenge. Not that he's going to turn into Nakobe Dean or Zach Bond, but I think he is a respectable player.
How about Quinyon Mitchell, banged up, coming into this game? I expect him to play. Obviously, I haven't gotten any update on that. I would expect him to play, but could that be an impact? A young cornerback like that going up against, I don't know, maybe they line Terry McLaurin up on him, who's been dominant in the playoffs here. How do you see that playing out? What kind of impact could that have on the game, BLG?
Yeah, we saw Quinyon have probably one of his worst games in this season. Last time they played against the Commanders, gave up the deep touchdown to Terry at one point, which, part of that is Terry McLaurin's really good. He's going to get his at some point. You're not going to shut him down all season long, basically like Quinyon did in that first meeting there. So I'm interested to see how much that impacts him. I guess you would think that not as bad as certainly like a lower body injury for a cornerback. But I guess, maybe we'll see how much the Commanders might try to run to Quinyon's side and kind of test out how physical he wants to be with that shoulder. So I guess that's something to watch for.
And Isaiah Rodgers has done a nice job filling in. Boy, I really like the depth of this team that Howie has built, because so many guys have had to step in at points. And we just talked about Oren Burks and his ability to do it. Isaiah Rodgers had to come in when Slay's banged up. Now Quinyon last week. Even if you go back to Fred Johnson on the offensive side, holding up against Trey Hendrickson, which I think was going to be a disaster, and he was like, it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. So Howie deserves a lot of credit for that. The one guy who I think people are saying, especially what's going on, I think, 3 head coaching interviews point to, hey, the NFL thinks pretty highly of Kellen Moore. Mm-hmm. But because of the way the offense has shaken out, I don't think a lot of Eagles fans would be all that upset if he left after the season. I bring that up to compare it to Cliff Kingsbury, because Cliff was the first guy they interviewed to be offensive coordinator. And they ultimately landed on Kellen Moore. There was some talk that Cliff wanted too much autonomy, but however it shook out that way. Where are you on Kellen Moore and the job he's done, just as a whole?
Yeah, I just want to note in there, too, the Commanders also have Brian Johnson on their staff.
Yeah.
And I heard the great Fran Duffy talk about how, for PHLY, about how some of the stuff he's seen on tape for the Commanders in their passing game looks a little bit more of like the college-y, Florida Brian Johnson stuff necessarily than it does totally just, the Cliff Kingsbury influence. So I kind of find that interesting, and especially as someone who was a little bit more defensive of Brian Johnson than others.
So was I. I think you got scapegoated.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Not to say that, obviously, I think he also plays a role in the failures ultimately, but, I think he had his hands, tied behind his back a little bit there. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I think, well, first of all, the Kellen Moore, Cliff Kingsbury thing, because I've heard people say, like, why is Kellen Moore interviewing when Cliff Kingsbury isn't? And for the people who I guess don't realize, Cliff's still being paid by the Cardinals on a head coaching contract. Yeah. So that's certainly a relevant factor there.
Yeah. I love how he played out.
Wait, does that not get nullified if you're just a coordinator? That doesn't get nullified if you're a coordinator?
No, you're getting paid that. Yeah, you're double dipping.
So only if you take another head coach job does that get.
Well, he probably has offset language, but in essence, he gets paid a little bit from Washington, and then Arizona's got to pay the difference, which is enormous for a head coaching contract. Right. And probably, I said probably, it might be the whole thing. If he didn't get offset language. So, but BLG's right. They played it up like, oh, he's so focused because Kellen got a lot of crap. Mm-hmm. By the way, does that annoy you as much as it annoys me that people get so upset about guys? It's part of the NFL. Every good team it happens to every good team. What is the big deal? He missed a 4th grade basketball game, as he said. That was the impact on Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's where the frustration is directed at is the annoying part. Like if you're annoyed at the system, sure, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair, gripe to have. That coaches are interviewing during this time. Although I would say if the shoe's on the other foot and, the Eagles were not in the playoffs here and, you're like, come on, I want them to hire a new coach. I bet you probably might feel differently. You would probably want them, to be making a move. So,
yeah.
Well,
not to mention that if you look at it from the personal coach's standpoint, I mean, guess what? As we just talked about with Brian Johnson, if things don't work out, you're going to get scapegoated out the door. So,
exactly. Yeah. So you have to look out for yourself, Yeah. I mean, I think most people would be doing that in any kind of other work situation and would understand that. So yeah, it's not a perfect system, but it's not unique to Kellen. That's the part I was getting frustrated with. It's like people are acting like maybe this is like the sentiment seemed to be, this is unique to Kellen Moore. It's not unique to Kellen Moore. Anyway, but I think it is also fair to be frustrated with Kellen Moore in terms of the offense. And like, I think it's been kind of basically like impossible to fully parse through who's to blame for what, because there's a lot of things we don't know. I think the point that kind of gets a little bit like not emphasized enough or maybe considered enough is that Jalen Hurts is not just like idly sitting by, like he's not just like showing up surprised to the game and be like, oh, wow, there's all these plays here. And I don't really like those. Like, no, like, come on. I think Jalen Hurts has a big voice in this offense as well. So I just think that has to be considered. And Kellen Moore is doing, I'm confident in what he thinks Jalen likes to do. And I'm sure, again, there are conversations that are happening related to that. So I'm not trying to say don't blame Kellen Moore at all and don't get frustrated at him, but to act like he's just, directing Jalen to do all this stuff that Jalen doesn't even want to do. Like the passing over the middle thing. Let's talk about that for a second. Like the fact that Jalen can do that in terms of you look at his success numbers on very low volume. He's been good at it, but you can't sit here and tell me that Jalen is like beating the drum. I want to pass the ball over the middle, and Kellen isn't just letting him do it. Like that can't be happening. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, mechanically, I want to get your thoughts on this because mechanically, not talking about success or lack of success because that has varied from season to season, but mechanically, Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore. This offense looks very familiar on all 4 of those guys running it. That to me says they're building around the quarterback and what the quarterback likes to do. And that's what you're supposed to do. And then if you want to go back even further to Nick Sirianni and his time in Indianapolis, because of what went on with Andrew Luck, they built 3 different offenses over 3 different years for 3 different quarterbacks, Andrew Luck, Jacoby Brissett, and Phillip Rivers. It's the quarterback. But by the way, that's not bad. You build around what the quarterback likes to do. Isn't that the simple explanation?
It's what they say about like the team philosophy, like players. Like, that's the point they make.
And wasn't that one of the biggest offseason talking points that Jalen was going to have more autonomy and he was excited about it and all sorts of stuff? I mean,
well, 100%. And they tried to evolve, by the way. I mean, you and I were there every day in the offseason, BLG. We saw the 7-on-7s. We saw the dump offs. It was try to get the football. You could see them trying to evolve what they weren't good at. Mm-hmm. And then when they got to the regular season, early, and by the way, I think unfairly blamed it a little bit too much on Jalen Hurts because AJ missed 3 of those games. Devontae wasn't in Tampa Bay. Lane wasn't in Tampa Bay, or didn't play in the games. Didn't play in that game. And then they scaled it back, which I thought was a little bit too reactionary. Now, in hindsight, they won every stinking game except the one game against Washington. So it's hard to argue with it. But I think overall, from a larger macro view, it was unfair to the quarterback to say, all right, we're going to scale this thing back. But they tried to evolve it the entire offseason. And I've said pretty consistently, if they win the Super Bowl and they have the parade and everybody takes a vacation, the minute they come back, the first thing they're working on is evolving the passing game, even if they win. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at with this. When we talk about passing game at this point, at this stage of late in the season, it's just like it's an off-season thing at this point. It's something you're not going to get fixed. I think they're still capable of having a game like Jaylen did against the Steelers. I think that's in there somewhere. I think that can happen, but obviously it's just not going to be like, unless I'm underselling this and it's somehow like Nick Foles was in the championship game in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's just not going to be a gangbusters passing game the rest of the way. But again, it doesn't need to be. Maybe you just need really honestly one of those. Maybe you need none of those, depending on how good the defense and the running game are. Maybe it's like a 2 quarters. Maybe it's 2 quarters of a game that kind of gives you a big lead or something. So yeah, I mean, for the most part though, yeah, I do think it's kind of just an off-season issue at this point.
Do you, from the mechanics standpoint I was talking about, do you see great differences between Sirianni, Steichen, Brian Johnson, and Kellen Moore? Because I don't see it. Everybody's like, Shane did this because Shane, they made the Super Bowl. It's the same offense for the most part. There's a little bit of, because human beings are different. The feel for the moment is a little bit different. But mechanically, the offense looks freaking the same.
Yeah. So back in 2022, I'm going to reference, my friend here, Ben Solak, used to be with BGN, now ESPN. Look at him. He talked a lot. I remember during that season, like not after the fact, during that season, this offense is so simple. And it was working, so everyone loves it at the time.
Yeah.
But I think since then, we've all sat here and said, wow, this offense is like so simple. It's not like helping them get open and scheming things open. It kind of just was really relying more so on the talent to make plays. So in that sense, yeah, like I think that kind of has been present throughout in terms of thematically. Like it's not like the most creative kind of offense you're going to see. How often do you ever see like, kind of the film grinder people on Twitter, like, posting clips? Oh, wow. Like, look at what the Eagles did here.
There's no Ben Johnson clips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we have not seen that, I think, throughout.
BLJ, I'm going to ask you how you feel about Jake Elliott. All right. That game is weird on the divisional because I'm like, boy, he made 3 huge kicks with snow coming down late in the game, but he also missed 2-point after. So you're like, okay, it's not obviously not all cured. How you feeling about Jake Elliott going into the NFC title game?
Yeah, at the risk of jinxing Jake, I don't think my concern with him would lie with like being able to make a big kick at the end of a game. I think that's how kind of like people have started to think about it because he struggled in that regard. And maybe it would be a little bit with 50 plus because that's specifically a range he's been abnormally bad at this year. But like I don't think it's that so much that's going to come back and bite the Eagles in a game if they lose. I think it would be more like the missed extra point, like kind of making like that final effect, or that would set you up in that scenario, like it could have in this game had he made both of those. Okay, you're up by 8, and then the Rams have to get a 2-point conversion just to send the game to overtime or whatever, depending how much time the Eagles get the ball back with. I think that would be what hurts them more. It's not him missing like this big kick at the end of the game. So I think he's been clutch. I still kind of believe that might be there. I think it's just more of the inconsistency that could get you into a spot at the end of the game that you just don't want to be in.
At Brandon Gouton, make sure you follow BLG on the X platform. Read him at Bleeding Green Nation. He and the staff do a tremendous job. Always say one-stop shop to get all your Eagles information each and every day. So make sure you check them out. bleedinggreennation.com. You have the right. It's early in the week. We won't even see Jalen Hurts. We'll see him today talking, but we won't see him on the practice field till Thursday. So you have the right to change your mind, but your early feeling on this game, Eagles versus Commanders. Third NFC Championship game at Lincoln Financial Field in, I believe, 8 years. Who's going to win it? 38-7, 31-7, by the way, the two previous ones. So ain't an easy place to play.
Yeah, I mean, I expect a good game. Commanders' offense is playing really well. Jayden Daniels really well. But, I look back at that last game that they lost to them, and that was it was a weird game. And I'm not trying to take credit away from the Commanders, but there was just a lot of different kind of weird things going on. My takeaway from that game wasn't that, oh, the Eagles are in trouble, or, oh, the Eagles are worse than the Commanders. So it was just Commanders had the better game at the end. And obviously the Eagles got a little bit unlucky with Jalen Hurts getting knocked out of that one and Kenny Pickett having to come in. And despite all that, still had a chance to win if Devontae Smith makes that catch at the end there. I think the Eagles are the better team here. I think this Washington team, for as good as they've been and a nice story it is for them, I still think they're not they weren't supposed to be here, and there was a reason for that. They still have some kind of holes on their roster. I just highlighted the defense earlier, especially a big issue, and I just think matchup wise, I really like Jaylen Carter going up against an Washington offensive line that's now missing Sam Cosmi.
Their best offensive lineman, by the way.
Yes.
Cosmi. Yes.
I like this Eagles running game, which, by the way, the Commanders' two biggest games that they've allowed rushing wise this year, both against the Eagles. I think that run defense is going to have, I think any run defense right now is going to have a tough time totally shutting down Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts wins. Nick Sirianni wins. I'm not going to bet against this team at home in the NFC Championship game. Crowd's obviously going to be electric. I like the Eagles to win this game and go to the Super Bowl.
Good stuff, BLG. Thanks for doing it today, brother. We appreciate having you on. Make sure you guys follow BLG at Brandon Gouton and read all his work at Bleeding Green Nation, one of the best Eagles sites. And he obviously just mentioned Ben Solak glowing up to ESPN. That shows you how great Bleeding Green Nation is. BLG, good stuff, brother. We appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.
There's BLJ here on Birds 365. Great stuff from him. John, we got about 5 minutes left in the show, 6 minutes left in the show. I got some super chats that we will get to. Appreciate everybody in the chat today. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. What are we? I've been saying 5. Is it 4? I guess it's 4 days away. We went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days away.
Thursday, Friday, yeah, 4 days away. Yeah.
4 days away here from the NFC title game. John, what'd you think about what BLG had to say? I feel like I got a little sense of confidence in the Eagles from BLG.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I said as soon as the divisional round was over, the Eagles are going to win. So I'm pretty confident with them. Yeah, I think I've said it from the start. Washington, great story, number one. But I think there's steps to this, and this will be the first time, obviously, not for Jayden Daniels, but this organization, this team, which has done so many things right this season with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, it's still early in their growing process. They're ahead of schedule. But when you're there, you want to take advantage of it. And they will be biting and clawing, but I just don't think they have the talent to deal with the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
Good stuff there. Let's go to a couple super chats before we get out of here. And I will do some giveaways today on Zander time after the show. So appreciate everybody in the chat who's a member. All right, so we'll do that after the show today. We had 2 winners yesterday. I'm still shipping out. We got, John, this is a full-time job sending out stuff to everybody, getting the addresses. But everybody basically is up to date. So I'll give you guys the rundown on that after. Miz checks in. 280 rushing and 65 net passing equals bad offense. 280 passing and 65 rushing equals no complaints. Why does how we get the yards matter if we win either way?
Well, look where you were at the end of the game. That's what it's about. I don't know how many times I can say it. Margin of error, margin of error. You're trying to increase your margin of error. You can win any way. You can win like Green Bay a couple years ago. Blocking a punt. But do you want to count on blocking a punt? Do you want to count on blocking a field goal? Do you think you're going to do that consistently? That's what coaches are trying to do. They're trying to increase the margin of error. So if something goes wrong, you still have a cushion. You know, the Eagles outplayed the Rams to the point Jaylen Carter shouldn't have had to make 2 plays at the end of the game to win the game. He did because mainly, not all, Jake Elliott missing 2 extra points obviously was a big part of it. But again, nobody in that building is happy with the passing game. So if they're not happy with it, I don't know why you got a problem with other people that point out that they're not happy with it.
Good stuff, Miz. Appreciate it. Good answer, John. Brian Pumper here. Going to be an uphill battle. We need to pull all the stops. We need at least 10 trick plays because Jayden Daniels is inevitable. Real David versus Goliath.
10. I guarantee if the Eagles run 10 trick plays, Brian, they're going to lose.
They're not running 10 trick plays. Have we ran 1 trick play all year?
The trick plays are for losers. You know, the Eagles impose their will with their offense.
Tell Ben Johnson that, the new coach of the.
Yeah, well, I will tell him that.
Yeah, it fucking cost them. I don't know why you're putting the ball in Jameson Williams' hands.
No, yeah, I'm being a little bit facetious.
No,
you know, they can be meaningful at times, but he does it too much, and you saw it. You know, yeah, at the biggest part of your season, he's putting the football in the hands of Jameson Williams, who never throws the football, and he made a mistake.
Well, you know, listen, John, I'm gonna use what you use against me here. Okay.
Yeah.
Judge play calls or judge play.
Well, no, I'm not.
Because you could say the same thing about the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Oh, you put the games on the Super Bowl's on the line, and you give it to Trey Burton. You know,
the Super Bowl wasn't on the line. The Super Bowl was at the end of the first half. There was plenty of football to be played. I'm saying that was the biggest drive of Detroit's season because they were down. They needed points. To me, the leverage of the situation is way different. Way different. You know, when they run hook and ladders in the second quarter and, fun. Go ahead, do it.
All right, whatever you got to do to get down the field.
High leverage situation. I don't want it's not about the play call. I don't want the ball in Jameson Williams' hands with my season on the line. It's not a play call.
I agree.
That's a decision.
Yeah. Charles Menifee checks in. What's up, Charles? Good to see you, brother. What happened to the training camp passing success? I never want to hear that shit again, Charles.
Well, that's Elliott. Yeah, blame Elliott, but
Elliott does a good job. I don't like criticize. A lot of people criticize Elliott. I don't need to.
Well, no, I mean, training camp statistics. I assume that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, from a business perspective, though, Elliott does.
You don't hear them from me because they're meaningless. But what I was talking about with BLG, the Eagles spent the entire offseason trying to evolve this passing game. That's what they were trying to do in training camp, even before that, and all OTAs and all that kind of stuff. They were trying to evolve this passing game, and they were doing it. You know, if you remember the reports from me and others, they were trying to get the football out quick. There was a lot of underneath stuff. And that's what they'll try to do this offseason. And when you get the old Mike Tyson quote, when you get to the real deal and you get punched in the face, then you go back to what you can do and rely on and are comfortable with. And what the Eagles are comfortable with is that offensive line. And then you added a great running back to the mix instead of a good running back. And you see the difference between the Eagles had a great running game with Miles Sanders, great running game with DeAndre Swift. But you said now they have an historic running game because they have a home run hitter behind that offensive line. So when I got punched in the face early in the season, they adjusted. And the coaching staff deserves credit for that.
Good stuff there. Kenny Sprague. What's up, Kenny? Is this team like the 1949ers where they gave up on passing and made the Super Bowl by defense?
Jimmy Garoppolo here. I know that was the year. I literally knew the moments Kyle Shanahan said, "F this." Jimmy Garoppolo's brutal. And he just ran his way to the Super Bowl. And by the way, you know, again, pointing out to my margin of error, was winning the Super Bowl deep into the game. And then Kansas City made 2-play, bang, bang, score, game was over. Game was over because they couldn't throw the ball. again, margin of error. But yeah, he threw an interception. He threw an awful interception to Eric Kendricks over the middle of the field. And Kyle Shanahan literally, if he could have pulled the plug live, that's exactly when he did it. And they ran their way to the Super Bowl, and they ran their way to a lead in the fourth quarter. And then Kansas City made 2 plays, and the game was over.
There it is. Mancini talks about the Sam Cosmi. I think it's going to be Trent Scott who's replacing him, the veteran guard who's kind of a journeyman. I think he's been on 4 teams in 7 years, but torn ACL for him, so that's definitely a big factor. A couple more super chats here, John. Suo Blaze. See, John, should have kept Devin White. I was waiting for a moment like this all year. I think they might be being a little sarcastic. But
yeah, well, there's some people. There are the Devin White truthers, but they have crawled underground. So
would he help in this situation with
no,
Kobe?
He's a brutal pass defender. That's the whole thing. People think because he's a good athlete. I always tell the story about Dontarius Thomas, who was a phenomenal athlete. Jack Del Rio, and when I was in Minnesota, and Dontarius Thomas. Jack Del Rio was the slowest linebacker in the world, but he was the smartest linebacker in the world, and he understood zone coverage. And they were a cover 2 team at the time, so It was all about zone coverage. And he was so smart. He's making Pro Bowls, and then they're like, "We got to get more athletic." And they bring in this Dontarius Thomas, who was a phenomenal athlete, 4'4" guy, and he even had all off the charts. Whatever it was, SATs or ACTs, he was a smart guy from college. So they're thinking he knows football. Awful pass defender. Just didn't have a feel for it. Devin White, awful grades as a pass defender, which I tried to warn people, but they didn't want to listen.
Good stuff there. Romeo Talon checks in. Romeo, appreciate it, brother. Man, I love the way you guys objectively break down the facts. If we've got a healthy Ertz, let's run these boys out of the stadium. If not, let McKee take command. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, thank you. I was on for Tanner McKee's not going to be active. I hate to break it to you guys. Kenny Pickett's the backup. He's going to be the backup. Tanner McKee's going to be the emergency quarterback. And for those who don't know the rules, I explained them yesterday. That means he cannot play unless the other 2 quarterbacks are ruled out. They cannot return to the game. So Tanner McKee is not going to be an option.
Good
unless catastrophe happens.
We'll see how it all plays out. Johnny Mac, final thoughts on the show. We're a little over time here. You going down to the now, or do you wait because you don't have to get?
No, I'm going down right now.
All right, Johnny. Final thoughts on the show before we let you run.
All right, see you guys. Thanks.
All right, appreciate it. There you go, Johnny Mac here on Birds 365. Good stuff from John McMullen. I guess he had no final thoughts there. I thought he was going to give us some final thoughts. All right, it's Zander time, everybody. We're going to do some giveaways today. Obviously, going to do some legend giveaways. I'll take some comments too on the game as well. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. A lot of good commentary in the chat. I will say you guys are always bring the heat with some good commentary. What do you guys think of this game coming up? NFC title game. I want to take some comments from everybody in the chat. What's up, Tupac? What's up, Tupac? Catherine, James Jones. What's up, brother? The red JD5 jersey. There he is. Good to see you in here, my man. Philly Dom, what's going on? Brian Pumper, what's up, brother? Sorry, man, I missed this super chat with John. 2 penalties took away touchdowns. Are you talking about in the game last week? All right, here we go. Joe Whip says, I'm feeling better about it now. Catherine says, I'm nervous but excited for this weekend. James Jones, yes, sir. I showed my wife. She loves it, Zander. Yeah, it's a nice jersey. Nice jersey, man. It is cool jersey. I will give you that. Abe, what's up, brother? Good morning, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think there's gonna be a closer game than we think. All right, I think gonna be a closer game than we think. I know we're a lot better team than them. I think we got the severe advantage with them. Oh dang, Bird Gang. Thank Bird Gang checks in. We bet the Bonnie Blue these fools. I don't know what that means. All right. I don't know what that means. Here we go. Jayden Daniels, though, dude, this guy is a freaking beast, man. This guy is a beast. Now, Flex, I'm not scared. I'm just respecting the player. I think there's a lot of Eagles fans who are a little bit in denial about Jayden Daniels. I was in denial at first 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks of the season. I ain't in denial on this guy, man. This kid's a freaking stud. And somebody was messaging me yesterday, and they're like, well, how can you say he's this good? It's only year one. You know, he's going to regress. I'm like, it's still year one. What the hell are you talking about? CJ Stroud came back to earth. I'm like, okay, that's year two. I mean, you know, that's year two. Jayden Daniels has been a stud this year. No, I ain't scared. Scared. People, I have a way different opinion on this. Scared? I don't get scared. As much as you might not want to hear this, the game has no bearing on my life other than the fact that I cover it. All right. Scared is not the right word. Okay. Scared is not the right word. And it shouldn't be for nobody should be scared unless you're, I don't know, dating one of the players or something. I don't know. I mean, come on. Who cares? We're football fans, guys. We're not members of the team. Yeah. Anxious is a better word. Scared is not the right word now. All right, here we go. Let's do some giveaways. I want to make sure I got everybody on the super chats. Make sure everybody got their memberships in. We are going to do a legend giveaway today. All right. We're going to do a legend giveaway today. I'm going to do, for the legend giveaway today, I'm going to do the black and Kelly Green Saquon. All right. Brandon, we're not on the team, unfortunately, brother. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Unless you bet your house on it, that's a reason to be scared. That's a reason to be scared. I'm not a betting man, so it's hard for me to say. Look at Eduardo bossing me around. Eduardo's a bossy guy, and it never works. Eduardo, I'm going to remove you from the drawing. No, I'm just kidding. Don't be bossy, though, Eduardo. All right? You want to start a channel? And do it on your time? You can call that Eduardo time. Okay. But this is Zander time, not Eduardo time. What's up, Bird Gang girl? Flexing and stepping. We already talked, Z. I know how you feel. Yes, sir. My guy, Flex. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being in here as always. Bobby Murphy says, no, that's my jersey, Zander. Are you a legend member? Well, I got another jersey to give away there. I got another jersey. What do I have? No, I don't have another jersey to give away today until I get back to my guy. What I could do, though, is I could give away let me see what I got. Give me a second. All right, that's coming. This is going to Waddington. Waddington, you're being shipped today. All right, I got a Quinion. To give away. All right, so we'll do a Quinion and we'll do a legend. How's that? Oh, you know what I might do today? I might do a JAKIB merch giveaway. Brian, good, you heard me. I didn't know if you were in here. Yeah, I'm sending you. I thought, Brian, for a second, I might be down in Cape May at some point, and I was going to drive through the village or wherever you are and deliver it, but I'm not going to be down there. So I'm going to ship it out today. All right, brother. And then I'll give the update for everybody else that's listening. All right. Texas T, I talked to you yesterday. You should be getting yours. All cards should be good. Most people have gotten their giveaway. Here's what I have left. All right. Here's what I have left. Chuck Hutton, you know what I'm working on for you. Okay, Chuck, thank you for being here. Chuck, I'm going to work on that for you as soon as I can. Devin Parker. Okay. Devin Parker. I will be able to get you a 2X, okay? So I'm working on that. I know that you wanted, I know you don't fit into a large, so what I'm going to do, Devin, is I just spoke with my dude last night, so he does have 2Xs for me, and I'm going to give away the Quinion jersey that you won because it's a large, and I need something else to give to the people, all right? So, Devin, I'm going to get your 2X, and I'll send you that, and once I get that, I should get it today, but I'm not exactly positive. I should get it today. But you need the 2X. So I'm working on that. Chris Albright, I got your email, so everything is straightened out on that front. James Jones, I talked to you last night. Your Commander jersey is on the way. Brian Waddington, obviously sending out your A.J. Brown today. Tony and Akbar are good. Brian Pumper, I sent your Saquon jersey. And then Suplex, I'm sending yours today. And Philly Don, I'm going to address yours today as well with my dude. So Devin Parker, I'm going to get you your 2X. And Philly Don, I got to upgrade to an XL. All right. So I'm working on everything. All right. If you, a lot of you guys want bigger sizes, and it's cool. It's fine. But I got to go out of pocket on it. All right. So I'm just trying to manage it the best I can. We're going to give this away today, though. All right. This was Devin Parker's. Devin Parker upgraded to an XL, which basically means that I bought him a new jersey and we got another jersey to give to the people. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. And then I'm going to do a JAKIB merch giveaway because that was fun. All right. I'm going to do a JAKIB merch giveaway. That was fun. And then we're going to do the legend. All right. So we'll have 3 giveaways today. I think that's pretty good. All right. I think that's pretty good. All right. So let me pull up. First off, Sean Davis. Thank you, bro. $20. He says, my bad. Why'd you say my bad? Sean Davis, were you the guy who messaged me last night? I dropped super chats on this show and they didn't get read. I think it was it wasn't a live show, brother. So we weren't there. It was a premiere of the, is that you, Sean? Caesar says, in my office, having the shittiest day ever. Make my day better. I'll try, man. We're doing it. Look, you're a legend. So we're doing a legend giveaway. Maybe you'll win the Saquon Black and Kelly Green jersey. All right. Philly 559 says JAKIB hat for Grays. Maybe not a bad idea. Got to upgrade, though. Come on, man. Sean, my bad, man. Look, let me see if I can find those super chats, Sean, and I'll read them for you right now because I never want someone to spend money on our channel and not get it read. All right, let me see if I can find it real quick because I think YouTube stores all the super chats somewhere. Yes, I got them. Sean, you dropped $10 and $5. I apologize for not reading those. Okay, we were not live, so we did not do it intentionally. They were. No, I'm going to read them. Come on, you sent $10 and $5. I'm going to read them right now. So I can't put them on the screen obviously because they're old. But Sean checked in last night and he said, if you watch those sacks, there was one play Jaylen didn't have someone open. He had Dallas over the middle on the safety. If everything is not perfect, do we truly believe he can be a good franchise quarterback? It's a good question. I mean, he took a lot of sacks, and a lot of people say it's on him. It's not on him. It's on Kelly Green, or it's on Kellen Moore. I think everybody has a little bit of fault, all right? I think everybody has a little bit of fault. I think everybody's got to play their best, and I'm not about to give everybody a free pass. Kellen doesn't deserve a free pass. Jaylen certainly doesn't deserve a free pass. And I think that question is fair, Sean. I think that question is fair. He also said, defense gives him the middle of the field and forces him right. He gets happy feet and backs out of the pocket. He does. His pocket awareness is not his strength. But, I'd like to see the team kind of play to his strengths a little bit more. I don't think Kellen Moore's done a good job at that. I really don't. I don't think Kellen Moore's done a good job at that. Bobby Murphy says, if we lose, it's your fault, Zander. You jinxed us. Well, Bobby, I love you and I appreciate you. I do not believe in jinxes. I do not believe in any of that bullshit. I'm not superstitious. There's nothing about me that's superstitious. I don't care that I bought him a jersey because I'll tell you what, he's a great freaking supporter. And you can be a fan of any football team. It doesn't bother me. All right. You can be a fan of any football team. If you support JAKIB, then I'm a fan of yours. All right. I don't care. You could be a fan of the Chiefs. All right. And if you're in here and you're a member and you're a supporter and you comment and you engage and you show some love, all right, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of good people, man. I'm not a fan of only Eagles fans. But I hear you. I get what you're saying. You might be just kidding. You're probably just kidding. I did order him a JD5 jersey, which felt weird. I used the guest account because I'm like, the last thing I want is emails, but I'm already getting emails. Buy your Washington Commander merch. I'm like, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe from this shit. Unsubscribe from this shit. Thanks, Wayne. This was a gift. I kind of wish it was the black JAKIB logo on there, but it was a gift. These are those melon hats. They're super expensive hats. I mean, I don't know, but they're great hats. They are nice hats. I was wearing them in the summer, you remember, but yeah. So this was a gift. Somebody embroidered JAKIB on there for me. Here we go. Yeah, J.O. Whip. I think that's a good take right there. All right. Need to cut down on the little mistakes like Lane and the pass pro misunderstanding. Yeah, they weren't great, Joe. I did go back because you mentioned this on the postgame show, and it's credit to you. You can tell you've been watching football for a long time. You have a tuned eye, Joe, which is good. But I went back and rewatched the game. The pass pro is not great. The pass protection in that game was not great. Now, you still have the problem of Jaylen holding on to the ball for a little bit. All right, you still have that issue, but you're right. The pass protection was not great. You're good, Bobby. I appreciate you. He says, I don't believe in jinxes either. Good. I don't think anybody should believe in jinxing. Romeo says, that's awesome. You gifted someone a non-Eagles jersey. Look, that's the deal. That was the deal I made with everybody. All right. We have obviously our resident Commander fan, James Jones, who's a member of the channel. We have Niners All Damn Day, who's a member of the channel. Niners All Damn Day has been a member for longer than most of you. He's been a member for like 25 months. So, if Niner All Damn Day wins, I'm going to order him whatever he wants to. So, that's how it works. All right. I appreciate everybody that supports this channel, whether you're a fan of the Birds or not. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me get this member list. Is anybody else going to become a member today? Is anybody else going to become a member today? All right. That's the question. We are one day away from all the members dropping off. So we have 476 right now. Let me see what we got when I download the list. And tomorrow we will have 100 less. So many people will say, damn, we are going to improve our odds if we did this tomorrow. Maybe I should do one today. I don't know. It's, I'll let some of the people kind of dictate what we want to do here on Zander time. Matt Dio, what's up, man? Good to see you. He says, I might be at the game. I was hoping to take my dad, an Air Force vet, to his first NFL game this weekend. He passed last Saturday at 87, and it's been a tough few weeks. May leave his seat empty, missing man formation. Matt Dio, that's a tough comment to read, man. I'm sorry for you. I'm praying for you. I'll keep you and your family in our prayers. You're obviously one of our great members here on JAKIB. You're a legend member. I appreciate all your support, and I'm praying for your family, man. May your father rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. Godspeed to you. God bless you. And I hope everything goes well with your family. I hope you guys can have the ability to kind of grieve and eventually find peace. So I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I am sorry to hear that. I luckily still have both of my parents. I love them both dearly. And it will be a very, very sad day for me when I lose one of them. Sean Davis checks in. Sean, thank you, brother. Jaylen is backing out of the pocket. There is a pocket if he steps up. A lot of the sacks are off the edge. Sean, that's one of the toughest things, man. That's one of the toughest things with Jaylen is he doesn't step up into that pocket. And when he does, Sean, it's not particularly the prettiest thing. He's got happy feet in there. But all right, good stuff. Here we go. I'm pulling the member list. All right, I've done that. Let's see how many members we're up to. We got 4. What do we have? 4. Let me see. It's not showing me right now. 477. Okay. Now tomorrow it's going to be 377 because there's 100 that were gifted from James Jones. And now they're gone. They're not gone yet. Who's the one person in here who knows that they were gifted? I think they checked it. I think it was a Bird Gang girl. Is she in here? Bird Gang girl, you in here? All right, first giveaway I'm doing. I'm going to do the Quinyon Mitchell first, okay? Quinyon Mitchell first. This was Devin Parker's jersey that he won, but I am replacing his with a 2X. All right, you know what that means for everybody else. Thank Devin Parker for being a pain in the ass. Not Devin, I'm playing with you. I'm just messing with you. But you guys can thank Devin Parker for being a pain in the ass because I'm buying him a new jersey. All right, got to go out of pocket for that sucker. I'll get him a 2X. And that means that the Quinyon will be given back to the channel. Okay, so we'll give the Quinyon away to somebody new. All right, so first thing we're going to do is give away the Quinyon jersey. Let me pull this up. All right, 476. Excuse me, it's 476. All right, here's our picker. I'm still waiting on the great Brian Fleming. Bird Gang says, I'll be back. You're still in. You're still holding on, Bird Gang girl. You're still holding on. Mad Dia, wise words. My mom died in 62. Sorry to hear that, brother. Rest in peace to both your parents now. May you live on. May you continue to live and continue their legacy. Okay? I think many more people should take that approach in today's day and age. A lot of people, they don't know. They don't want to continue what their parents did or what their parents built, or maybe they don't appreciate. I'm not saying that's you, Matt Dio, but I was trying to tell people, why do I wear Kangos? I'm a Krause. We make media and we wear Kangos. I love continuing my dad's legacy. All right. Good stuff there. Appreciate that. Marquise Padilla becomes a member. Were you already a member? Okay. You became a legend member. Love it. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Legend. That's dope of you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate everybody showing love on Super Chats today. Sig Lord, member for 2 months. Don't let the Jayden Daniels glaze from the media let you forget that we have Saquon Barkley. Doesn't make me forget that at all. Why would that make me forget we have Saquon Barkley? I'll say this. Jayden Daniels is fucking good, man. So don't sleep on this kid. He went into Detroit and made them a can of tuna fish. 45 points. He dropped 31 points on their head in the first half, man. In the first half. Let me drop the membership link. You guys looking for the membership link? I'll share it now. All right, there's the membership link. I just put it up. Suplex City says, my kids aren't keeping my legacy of drinking or cheating, fuckers. Suplex, I'm sure you're a better guy than that. You're just not giving yourself any credit. All right. But that's fair too. You can either be a victim of your circumstances or you can be a victor. Be a victor. Okay? Win. Win by any means necessary. To my great family members on JAKIB Sports, I encourage you to win in every area of your life. All right? I love you all. I love you all. And Marquez, I don't know. Can you tell me how to pronounce that? I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. I really do. I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. Jason 18. Sorry, JAKIB fan. I slept in until now. Don't get many mornings off of work. Glad I caught Zander zone time. LMAO. Big Z a giver. Yeah, 18. That's funny you said a Zander zone. All right. So back when I was a kid, that's what my uncle used to say to me. My actual uncle, not my JAKIB Sports uncle. I'm gonna call Joe Whip or Marcus. Got you. Thank you. Joe Whip or Akbar or Bob Brown. One of the older guys that we have in JAKIB. They're my JAKIB uncle. But this is my real uncle. My Uncle Tony. All right. He used to say Zander zone. Welcome to the Zander zone. And he built this man cave when I was younger. And he put a big sign up that says, welcome to the Zander zone. That reminds me of that. Good memory there. Thank you for giving me that memory. My Uncle Tony, baby. Yeah. I told you, my mom's side's very Italian. Uncle Frank, Uncle Tony, Aunt Pam, and my mom's name is Virginia. Oh, Sean says, can you take away my gifted membership so I can upgrade to a legend? Oh, no. Are you gifted and it's not letting you update it? Oh, come on. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Barb says she likes Zander Zone. Yeah, Zander Zone's cool. There you go, Tony. Uncle Tony here. There he is. That's not my Uncle Tony, but that's a Tony. I love the name Tony. Anthony. It's a beautiful name. Great name. It's actually my confirmation name. My confirmation name. All right, here we go. Let's do this giveaway. I'm sure you guys are already getting annoyed with me just rambling on. All right. I'm sure you are, and you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to live with it. Yo, how about the comment? How about the DM I got? I hope that guy's listening. What's that guy's name? I'm not going to out him. I get a DM though on Instagram. I wake up to a DM on Instagram. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I wake up to a DM. This guy literally says, I'm reading it verbatim, okay? Absolutely hated your show for 10 weeks. Then I started to understand a little bit more what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work. I said, thank you, sir. Funny comment. What a funny way to DM. If he's listening, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Mike is his name. Absolutely hated your show for 10 weeks. Oh, man. Great DM. Great DM. All right, here we go. First giveaway is the Quinyon Mitchell jersey. Okay? The Quinyon Mitchell jersey. Let me move this over here. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Oh, my God. Enough, computer. The stupid Apple new software. They try and tell me that they know how to set my tabs up better than me. I'm like, no, you don't. All right, here we go. This is what we're giving away first. Quinyon Mitchell. Authentic Kelly green jersey. All right. It's a size large. It's a size large. It's very good quality jersey. Kelly green, Quinyon. He's going to be here for a long time. All right. Quinyon Mitchell will be an Eagle for a long time. Quinyon Mitchell will be an Eagle for a long time. All right, here we go. Watched for 10 weeks. Yeah, that's the part of it I find the most funny. How the hell do you hate something for 10 weeks? If I'm on a show and it's 5 minutes deep and I'm like, this is trash, click. Give me something else. Bobby Murphy says, my side. All right, Bobby, this might be you, bro. It might be you. Let's see. Let's see if it's you. Quinyon Mitchell jersey. All right, you must be present to win this jersey. All right, so if you're in the chat, give me a comment. Show me that you're present. If you're not, you're out of here. And Flex will be sending in. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. M. Reyes, I think you are due for a jersey. All right, you are. And you're due for something that's not Jalen Hurts. All right. On the story of DMs, let me just keep telling the DM stories. M. Reyes, sorry to out you. Okay. I was DMing M. Reyes one time. And he sends me this video. And the kid has like 15. I mean, he has like 15 Jalen Hurts jerseys. I mean, I'm like, M. Reyes, you know what I love about this? Is that you walk the walk, because he says all the time how much he loves Jalen Hurts. And I'm like, hey, listen. At least you back it up. He's got like 10 Jalen Hurts jerseys. He got that baseball jersey. Freaking M. Reyes. Gotta love him. Gotta love him. All right, here we go. Quinyon Mitchell first. Quinyon Mitchell first. Spin bad. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Here we go. Confirm. We're going to do 3 shuffles. All right. Wait, did we get a new member that I didn't add? Yes, we did. Let me go back. Let me make sure. Marcus is in here. He's in here. All right. I knew you were in here. All right. So Marcus is in here. Any other new members that we got today that I didn't get? Yeah, I pulled the list after he joined. So all good on that front. All right. Here we go. Sorry. I thought I had a delay there. Confirm. All right. 476 members. That's what we got. 476. Tomorrow, we're going to have 376. All right. So I'm going to have to slowly grind it up. I wanted to get to 500 members. We weren't able to do it. If you're listening right now and you're not a member, can I ask you why? What do I have to do to have you want to support the channel? I will do it. All right. I try and give everybody great content. I try and do as much as I can for the great people who support us here on JAKIB. If I was a money bag, so, we were talking in the chat yesterday. If you won the lottery, what would you be doing? Well, if I won the lottery, I'd be right here. I wouldn't go anywhere. If I won the lottery, I'd hire some editors. All right. I'd get into produced content. I would try and make, not like movies, but like, I'd try and go out in the Philly and I would get recordings and I would talk to Eagles fans and I would try and document this season or something like that. I would hire a big team of editors, but I would be doing the same thing. If Big Z won the lottery, I'd still be here talking ball with you. Yo, Keith, fuck you, Keith. Spin the wheel, Z. Fuck you, Keith. Kenny Sprague added. Let me see. Is this a new member or did he upgrade? Welcome to the legend. He's added. Let me make sure Kenny. He's not in here. I got to add him. Kenny Sprague added. All right. I added Kenny Sprague. We're up to 477. I'll go members only. Keith, you know I didn't mean that. You know, I'm just telling you. I'm just showing you who's the boss of Zander time. Sometimes you got to do that in life. Sometimes you got to do that in life. You guys want me to go members only mode? Devin Parker says, you guys are going to be mad when he pulls my name again. Boy, that would be funny. Devin, you're already a gift to the. You already you're good, Kenny. Kenny, brother. Not you're Kenny, you're all good, man. He says, my bad, dude. I got a new debit card. Forgot to update. All good, brother. No, you don't have to explain it to me, man. I get it. Look, we all deal with the same shit. All right. We all got payments to make. We all got people to support. We all got family, mouths to feed, roofs to put over our head, heat to pay for, whatever it is you got to pay for in life. I'm certainly understanding of it. All right. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock steady. Rock steady, are you here? Is Rock steady in the chat? Rock steady, are you here? Propane heating bill, $1,200. 5 parks, I bet, man. Bob Brown. Good for you to come back because we're doing a legend giveaway today. Although the legend giveaways you don't have to be present for, okay? Just a legend will be picked and they'll be given the jersey. All right, legends are a different caliber of member. Joe Whip says next. El Yepa says next. El Yepa, please let me know when you get your thing. I'm worried sick about that one. It was just a weird process. Every time I tried to put your address in, somebody's giving me something about it. I'm like, what the? It just said the guy the damn thing. All right, Rock Steady, are you here? I don't see him. I don't see him. When's the uncle giveaway? Yeah, Joe and Bob Brown. I'll put Akbar in there. I'll put Underdog in there. I got a bunch of uncles in the chat, all right? If you're north of 50, check in because you're my uncle, okay? If you're north of 50 in the chat, I want to hear from you, all right? If you're north of 50 in the chat, let me know. And because you're a Big Z uncle. All right, Rocksteady, you're done. You're done. All right, here we go. 62, Chip, you're my uncle. William, my uncle. Howard, my uncle. Wayne the Pain, my uncle. Philly Don, my uncle. All right, I got a lot of them. Good stuff. That's what we like to see. There's nothing like some OG advice. All right. Oh, Catherine, don't make me treat you like I just treated, who was it? Keith? Catherine, I don't want to have to bash you, Catherine. I don't want to hurt your feelings. All right. You might be new to Zander time. Okay. You might be new to Zander time. It could be 11:14 before my next spin. All right. All right, here we go. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. There's Catherine. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. All right, here we go. You must be present to win. You must be present to win. Come on. Quinyon Mitchell, large jersey. 3, 2, 1. The Gregory 1967. Sounds like he might be my uncle. Was he born in 1967? That would make him what? 57? Somewhere in that range? How is my math? 57 if he's 69, born in 67, right? 33 plus 24, yeah. 57, there you go. Is he here? Is the Gregory here? Look what we did to Zander. I don't know what that means, James. Howard, did you upgrade? He upgrades. All right, we got some new legends coming in for the legend giveaway. The legend giveaway today, looks like Gregory might not be here, so we might be pulling a new name. The legend giveaway today is Saquon Black and Kelly Green. It's Saquon Black and Kelly Green. So we're doing the legend giveaway last. We're doing Quinion now. Quinion large, Kelly Green. And then we're going to do a JAKIB merch giveaway. That's easy for me, the merch giveaway, because I can just order it right from my own site and ship it right to your house. All right, here we go. Gregory, you're done. The Gregory 1967 is done. Howard, thank you for becoming a legend, man. That's really cool of you. And Kenny and Marcus, thanks all you guys. Really dope. I appreciate that very much. Sean Davis, I'm adding you to the legend members for now, brother. That's a legend-worthy performance right there. Sean Davis, $50 super chat. $50 super chat. You know, Jason A-Team, I see your comment. And Jason, I'll say this to you, and you can hold my word. You can hold me to my word. Because you made an adjustment for me, if you give me some time, Jason, I can't do it right now because I got a lot of, as you know, I got a lot of shit I'm dealing with. I'm going to try and take care of you, Jason, because that was cool. I appreciated what you did. All right. You did something for me. So I'm going to try and do something for you. Okay. Thank you, Jason A-Team, for doing that. And Sean Davis, $50. All right. That's 2 months worth of legend right there. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that so much. Chad Whitaker, did he upgrade? He upgrades to a legend. All right. All right. The legend members are growing. Yes, Jason A-Team is a Mount Rushmore JAKIB guy. Yes, he is. And it helps that I've met him. All right. Met A-Team. I met Flexin. You know, when I see their comments, I can immediately put a face to a name. A lot easier to do that. I wish I knew all you guys. I wish I knew every one of you guys. It would be fun talking to you. And it still is fun talking to you, but it's cool when you put a face to a name, obviously. All right, Quinion, here we go. Quinion, here we go. Wait. Let me make sure I got everybody. Jason, hang with me, brother. I'll take care of you, man. I appreciate what you did for me, and I don't forget stuff like that. Sean, you got to be kidding me, man. Sean says this is for gas. Sean, you're showing out, bro. You're showing out. Thank you, man. I appreciate that so much, bro. That's $100 from you today, dude. And I read the super chat you sent yesterday. Thank you, man. It means a lot to me that you're supporting like that. Appreciate you, Sean. I appreciate you, brother. I'll add you into the legend giveaway for sure. I'll add you into the legend giveaway for sure. Sean, thanks, bro. All right, let me make sure Chad's in here because I got a bunch of people now. All right, Chad, you're in here. I knew you were in here because you upgraded. Howard, I'm pretty sure you're in here too. Just making sure, though. Howard. There's Brandon Howard. There's Howard Nolte. All right, Howard, thank you. Kenny, I added you at the top, right? All right. All right, so we're good. All right, we got everybody. And look at Sean, $50. This is my upgrade. This is for gas. Sean, that's dope. Thank you, bro. Yeah, right. Sean deserves a jersey, man. Sean deserves a jersey. Let's see what I can do for him. Confirm. One shuffle. I'm at right outside of Philly, right north of the city, Chris. I'm not in South Jersey. That's one shuffle. That's 2 shuffles. That's 3 shuffles. The Bonehead. Andrew Jackson, who was pissing me off earlier in the chat. If we did this, if we did this. I don't play ifs. The hell is if? Start. Come on. Come on. We need a winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cody K. Please tell me Cody's here. I love Cody K. I love Cody K. You know why I love Cody K? Because he always comes in and says, Zander the legend. I love that. Come on, Cody. I know you're here. You got to be here, Cody. I want Cody to win this. I want Cody to win. I'm biased about some winners, yes. Come on, Cody. Come on, Cody. Oh, my gosh, Sean. Don't need anything but thank you. Sean, you're the man, bro. You're the man. Where's Cody K at? The rules are the rules, but fuck, I want to give this jersey to Cody K. He's such a great supporter. Sean Davis, you're a fucking legend. Excuse my French, sorry. Sometimes I just start cursing. Damn, man. Cody was here earlier, wasn't he? Cody K. Shit. Cody K, I wanted you to win. Get him at it. Look, everybody's starting. You guys don't like hearing when I'm happy with a member. You guys don't like hearing that. Because you never know what Big Z is going to decide. Will he hold you out? Will he give it to Cody? Will I pick a new winner? Oh, baby. You know, one of the caveats on Zander time that you guys sign on to every time you're in here, willingly or unwillingly, is Zander will make the rules. Zander has the ability to adjust the rules anytime he wants. Yes, I knew he'd be here. Is he here? Where is my guy? Where the fuck is he? Yeah! Woo! Cody K, the tables have turned, my friend, and now you are the legend. Now you are the legend. I'm carrying salt bags in the house at the moment. Cody, handle what you're going to handle. All right, do what you got to do. All right, and when you're ready, check back into the chat. Okay, and you've won a jersey, Cody. The jersey you won is Quinyon Mitchell. Okay, I'll talk to you, make sure the size is good for you and everything. But Cody, your support of JAKIB is much appreciated. Thank you, sir. And I am happy that you got a win because you've been with us for a very long time. All right. And you were one of Big Z's supporters earliest. So thank you, bro. There it is. Zander is the legend. Thank you, man. Big Cody with the win. Cody with the win. Cody with the win. So all you people saying, get him out of here. Devin, see you, bro. You might be a legend member, so you might win still, but you don't have to be here for that. Justo, don't be a crybaby. He says, you only want Cody to win, really, Z? I didn't say that, all right? I just said if he wins, I'm happy because he's a great supporter. Justo. You can't say anything without somebody taking offense to it. Come on, Justo. All right, let me know if Cody, how can I cut? Well, I'll let you get back in. I'll let you get back in. Well, I'll let you handle what you got to handle. All right, and once you get back in here, let me know. Let me know on how to contact you, and then we can talk. Then we can discuss. Cody K equals Cody Krause. I don't think so. No Codys in my name or in my family. Actually, there is a Cody in my family. It's Cody K, and he just won a jersey. Barely hiding the Krause surname. The Krause legacy will live forever. Okay? Especially when I have all my kids. Then the Krause legacy is really going to live forever. All right, our first winner has been selected. Can I thank one more time my man Sean Davis? 1 super chat, $50. 2 super chats. This is for gas. Great comment. That's about half of my gas tank in my truck. It cost me like $100 to fill my truck up. All right. Sean, thank you, man. Sean Davis again, 3rd super chat. This is his upgrade. So Sean, thank you, bro. Thanks, Chad. My guy. I think Chad, you're my guy that lives out in that lives out in Steamboat, right? In Steamboat, boy, I got to take you up on that offer, Chad. I got to take you up on that offer. Joe Webb says, how many kids? As many as the good Lord will bless me with. As many as the good Lord will bless me with, I'll take. If it's 18, I'll take 18. If it's 5, I'll take 5. If it's 1, I'll be happy. I want more, but I will appreciate what the Lord gives me. All right. I'd like a lot, though. I'd say minimum 6, Joe. Minimum 6. Yeah, Brian Fleming always has a funny comment. Yeah, Joe, you know that. 18 kids, F that. No, I'd be happy with it. Not big on that, Bob Brown. Not big on that. Yeah, I've been to Steamboat too. Let me see if I can find a picture of me in Steamboat. All right, our next winner is going to be a JAKIB Legend, or no, not a Legend, sorry. JAKIB Merch. Steamboat Springs. I was in Steamboat Springs December 31st, 2017. I'm not going to show you the picture I have of me on top of the mountain because it's maybe a little bit PG-13. But, 2017, Colorado. You remember what was happening in Colorado at that time? No Kango today. I know. It feels weird. I don't like it. I'm not going to lie to you. Kevin Landon says he just purchased the JAKIB Sports hat. Is that right? I did. I just got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your order. If you win some JAKIB merch today, Kevin Landon, I'll order you a nice sweatshirt and shirt to go with it. All right? Z needs to trade his Ram for a real Toyota truck. Nah, I'm not a big Toyota guy. No, I was not doing that, Fleming. Yeah, it was. It was cool for New Year's. Huge dump of fresh powder. Look at that. All right, next winner's incoming. Congrats to Cody K. You guys let me know in the chat when Cody K checks back in. I know he's working. Cody, no rush. All right, no rush. You're good. You're going to win the jersey no matter what. All right. So thank you, Cody K. I love American-made vehicles. Nah, no Cybertruck. No Cybertruck for me. I got to be honest. Flex says he got a nice truck. I love my truck, man. I love my truck. My brother just got a new F-150. I don't know, man. I don't like it as much. He got brand new F-150. Brand new. Brand new F-150. Clean as a whistle. Decked out. All the bells and whistles on that thing. I just love my truck. No, it's not the diesel. I'd love to get the Cummins diesel, but I don't need that, Brian, right now. I don't need it. I'd love to get it. I'm telling you, my Ram, when you get inside my Ram, Flex, you said it's nice from the outside. You should get on the inside of mine. My Ram is nice, man. The interior is beautiful, perfect, high quality. You're in a Chevy or a Ford, you touch the front panel, it like squeaks. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. Just not my cup of tea. Old school caddies. That's cool. I love caddies. I want if I make it big, I talk about if I won the lottery. If I won the lottery, I'd buy a Escalade V. The Escalade V is what I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Probably the first purchase. Probably the first purchase I'd make would be an Escalade V. And then I'd buy a mean-ass sports car. I'd probably buy that new Mustang GTD. I don't know if anybody, if you're a car guy, you've seen that. If you're not a car guy, you haven't seen that. It's the Nürburgring Mustang that they just made. Abe rocking the Audi Q7. Nice, Abe. All right, here we go. JAKIB merch giveaway. JAKIB merch giveaway. Start. Dodges are gay. All right, whatever. Wow, Tony ordered his C8. There you go. I can't go wrong. You didn't go Z06 or Z07, did you, brother? Man, those C8s are special looking cars, man. Those are beautiful rides, man. I would absolutely look. I love Mustangs. But I mean, come on. I just got another merch order. Did somebody else just order merch from the chat? I'm good, Dirty Air. Mine's still going good, brother. Hellcats are crazy. The only reason I want a Hellcat is I don't want to be a target. People in Philly are crazy about those Hellcats, man. Awesome, Tony. I'll check that out, bro. I'll check that out. Thank you, man. I'd love to see that. I'm a big car guy. I love cars. Somebody said car show. The other thing I'd buy if I won the lottery, I'd buy the new Mustang GTD. I'd also go and find the most pristine, beautiful 1965 Mustang Fastback, and I would buy it in that. What's the? I'm blanking on the blue. The iconic light blue. I'd buy that. I'd restore it. Probably hire someone to help me restore it better than I can restore it. And I would almost resto mod it, make it a little bit more modern. Porsche, can't go wrong with a Porsche. Never driven a Porsche, not gonna lie to you. Never driven a Porsche, unfortunately. Sean, thank you, man. Look at this. Sean, you're the one who ordered the shirt. All the super chats and then a shirt. Thank you, man. That's dope. Pump, what would you get? He says that's weak. What would you get, bro? I'm all ears. I'm all ears. I like a lot of cars. I'm not picky. Joe, maybe Marion. I don't know. Joe, you'll appreciate this. My girlfriend, her grandfather and her uncle are members at what's the best golf course in New Jersey? I'm blanking on the name. Pine Valley. They're Pine Valley members, Joe. Yeah, I'm not quite ingrained enough to get invited to the boys' trip every year, but that's all right. I got my own boys. But anyway, they're Pine Valley members, so maybe I'll get there one day. 72 Challenger, love that. All right, we're off on a tangent on cars. All the women in the chat who want the giveaway are like, what the heck? Old Vet would be cool. What, a C2? I'm not allowed at Pine Valley. Nobody is, Joe. The whole world's not allowed at Pine Valley, for crying out loud. All right, here we go. JAKIB merch. Brandon Howard says, spin the wheel. Here we go. Pine Valley is very hard to play. I've never played there. I do hear it's hard to play. Let me change this. It's not Quinion Mitchell. JAKIB merch. All right, you'll have two items to pick, a sweatshirt and a shirt, or a sweatshirt and a hat or something. All right, confirm. What's going on? Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. This is for JAKIB merch. All right, I'll order it right to your house. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clark. Who is Clark? Clark, are you here? Superman, that's a good one. Next, I got a feeling Clark is not going to be. Actually, wait, I know Clark. Clark is the guy that has Joey Shakes as his picture, isn't it? Isn't that Clark? Chip says that's my cat. You got a cat named Clark? That's hilarious. Come here, little Clarky. Yeah, I knew it. This guy's the guy that has Joey Shakes as his profile picture. Clark, are you here? Come on, Clarky. Another merch order. What's up with everybody ordering the JAKIB merch today? Chad orders some JAKIB merch and he's shipping it to Steamboat Springs. I love it. I love it. That's 3 JAKIB merch orders today. You guys are showing out. Is Clark here? Or is Clark done? Don't fight the love, Z. I'm not fighting it. I appreciate it. I hope everybody knows I appreciate it. Clark Kent. All right, he's done. You guys tell me if Clark comes. Oh, God. Did I just lose my list of names? You got to be kidding me. Ah. Damn it. You got to be kidding me. Oh, Bob, I've seen the Resvanis. Is that the one that you can, that's like a tank? Yeah, I'd buy that. I would buy that in like a freaking heartbeat. All right, I got to add some people again. Who'd I have to add? Chad was already a member. Howard was already a member. Kenny re-upped. Kenny Sprague is, let me check. Marcus. Marcus is here. Marcus, you're there. All right, I got everybody. All right, I got everybody. All right, here we go. Sure, drive that to the country club. Joe, I'm not really like, I love golf, but I'm not like the biggest country club guy. You know, like I don't dislike it at all. Most of my friends in high school were and stuff, but it's never been me. I didn't go up growing up or anything. I'm a little bit rough around the edges for a country club. I'm a little rough around the edges for a country club. I told you, I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be told what to do. All right, here we go. JAKIB merch. Clark is a loser. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. Four, 3, 2, 1. Lucius the show. Come on, Lucius. I think he's a legend member, so he's gonna have a chance at the legend too. Lucius, are you in here? Is Lucius here? He said he wanted to DM me about something yesterday. Also, am I pronouncing that right? Lucius the show? He just left for work. Did he? He is a legend member. He is a legend member. JAKIB merch. JAKIB merch, A-team. This is for JAKIB merchandise. All right. I know it's not as enticing. Some people like JAKIB merch. Somebody might be an Eagles fan. They're like, I want Eagles merch, asshole, not JAKIB. Which is fine, too. I don't care. It doesn't bother me if you think that. All right, I get it. I understand it. The JAKIB merch is dope. Mad Bird, you got a bunch of it. So is he's gone? He's not in the chat? He's not in the chat? Do you guys see him? Anybody see him? There you go, Bird Gang. I appreciate that. Just as enticing. There you go. JAKIB merch is Eagles merch. There you go. I appreciate it. You guys don't have to butter me up. It's all good. It's all good. All right. You don't have to lie to me. You don't got to lie to me. I love you all, though. All right. He's gone. Lucius, I'll try and do something for you. I told him I would try and do something for him. Dude announced he was leaving just before he won. Sometimes the cookie doesn't crumble your way in life, Brandon. Start. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Caesar, I'll figure that out. All right, I'll figure that out. Don't worry about that. Are you in Chile? Is that where you are? It might cost me an arm and a leg to ship it, but I'll still ship it. All right, here we go. Yeah, the problem with that is Twiz. I think he's big, right? He wants the 3X. I don't got 3X due to that. That's tough. That's a tough swing. M. Rice, what do you mean the new JMac logo? All right, here we go. Come on. JAKIB merch. 3, 2, 1. Mac Main. Come on, Mac. You've been giving me a hard time in the chat. Is Mac Main here? Yo, Caesar, I'll get it to you, bro. You don't have to worry about paying for shipping and stuff. Come on. I'm not about to do that. We're not about to do all that. 3 merch orders is dope. Is Mac here? You guys know Mac, right? I think Mac's got a wrench. Return of the Mac. Proceed to the next. Cody K, let me know where I can DM you or email you or whatever, bro. M-Race. There it is. There it is. Cash this motherfucker out. There he is. Good stuff, Mac Main. Good stuff, Mac Main. M-Race, you're so right. I must be up to $1,000 in shipping costs. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you, dude. Every time I go to UPS or the post office, it's another 60, 70, $80. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. All right, Mac, what do you want? JAKIB merch. I'm sure you wanted Eagles merch, but you're getting JAKIB merch. All right, let's pull up the site for Mac. Let's pull up the site for Mac. JAKIBsports.com. Go check the merch out if you want. I'm gonna one of my projects for the off season is to improve on the merch. All right, that's one thing I want to do. All right, here we go. Mac, check it out. You get to pick 2 things. You can pick like a sweatshirt and a t-shirt, sweatshirt and a hat. Cody, I'm not sure. I get a lot of emails, so can you just refresh it? Put it in my inbox, bro. Yeah, Sue, the merch should come quick. I'll order it right away. Mac Main, you run. Well, Bobby, it's all a tax write-off. It's a business, bro. Everything's a tax write-off. Doesn't mean it doesn't have to come out of pocket. SmackDown, thank you. Becomes a member. Here we go. Let me check what you became a member of. What's going on? My computer's going slow on me now. JAKIB fan, thank you so much for becoming a member. Mac Main, you got 2 picks, all right? You can pick like a sweatshirt and a shirt or a sweatshirt and a hat. All right, look, so you can do, this is regular JAKIB. This is what I'm wearing right now, just the classic JAKIB hoodie it's got the embroidered logo. The shirts are great. The t-shirts are great. I have this t-shirt. I like the Philadelphia on the side. You could pick that. You could pick Stout U or JAKIB Nation. The JAKIB Nation shirt's cool. JAKIB Nation with the JAKIB Philly on the side. All right. You could pick JAKIB Nation Bleeds Green. I got this in black or white. Sweatshirt and a shirt. Just tell me what size and which one you want. All right, Mac? Mac, do I have you on on social media, Mac? You can DM me if you want. You can DM me if you want. Josh B, thanks for that email. Stout U, you want Stout U? Stout U sweatshirt and what, a JAKIB t-shirt or what? I'm cool with that. I like that. Stout U sweatshirt. It's got JAKIB embroidered on the front with the Stout U on the back. All right, MacMan, DM me on Twitter. I'll organize it with you there. Thank you, brother. Perfect. DM me on Twitter and we'll get it straightened out. I'll order it today. Yeah, the hoodies are pretty thick. I mean, they're good. They're I forget what the Independent Trading Co. I think they are. They're pretty good. I like them. And JAKIB T. All right, Mac, just DM me. I'll organize it with you there. All right. I need your size and your address, obviously, to ship it to you. Josh B. Oh my God, if that ain't the truth. The amount of people that think tax write-off means free is astounding. Yep, it's not free. It's not free. All right, here we go. Next giveaway is, we got 2 winners so far. Cody K and Mac Main. The next thing we're doing is a Legends Saquon Legends jersey. All right, so all 477 of you are gone. You're done and dusted. Now I have to import the legend members. All right. Let me import the legend members. Memberships. A lot of legend members right now. You guys are showing out. No, Cody, that's holy shit. That tells you how long Cody's been around. Cody, email here. Do not email that one. I don't, that's gone. Zander at JAKIB Media. 30-day. You do not have to pay shipping. If you win, there's nothing worse than winning something, right? And then the way to win it is you have to spend money. It's like a Christmas gift. Have you ever gotten a Christmas gift or a gift for your birthday? And it's like, here's this great gift, but in order for you to use it, you have to buy a bunch of other shit. That's the worst. Nobody wants that. That means if you win, you got to spend money. Come on. No, that's not the point. The point is to win something free of charge. It gets delivered to your door, and you feel like a champion. Yeah, Bobby, you and me both, bro. Got to get a good accountant, Bobby. I'm sure you do, though. Got to get a good accountant. All right, legends. Here we go. I might have to input my legends manually, which is a real pain in the ass. Current level, legend. We have 33. Holy shit. Jason, A-Team. Our first legend member. Brian, Fleming, Terry, Hayes, Mad, Dio, Jay, Ronimu. All right, some of these names have already won. So what I'm trying to do for the legends is I want as many different legends to win as possible. So if your name is pulled, I'll try and do something for you. Maybe I can send you JAKIB merch, and then I'll give the jersey to someone that hasn't won yet. Bob Brown, legend member. Thank you, Bob Brown. Dirty D. Thank you, brother. If you win, you're not paying for shipping. Derek Elmore. Thank you, Derek. Philly Don 23. Thank you, Philly Don. CZ. Thank you, CZ. Brandon Howard. Thank you, Brandon Howard. John Glisson. Thank you, John Glisson. Big C. Thank you, Big C. Dirty Air. Thank you, Dirty Air. Loved your picture. I put up that yesterday and appreciate your support. CT Philly fan. Thank you, CT. Vulnerable. Vitality. I like that name. Thank you, Vulnerable. Tyler Braswell. Tyler, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Crowley. X26. Crowley, thank you, sir. Josh B. Oh, spelled that wrong. Josh B. Thank you, sir. Chris AM. Thank you, Chris AM. Caesar Campos. Thank you, Caesar. Who else? William Stark. Thank you, William Stark. SB Ricky. Thank you, SB Ricky. Chip Snyder. Thank you, Chip. Appreciate your support. 83 Rainy Boy. Thank you, 83 Rainy Boy. TK Washington. 92. Thank you, TK. Chris Albright. Thank you, Chris Albright. Clary Voy. Thank you, Clary Voy. Who else? Marcus Padilla. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I think you're in the chat right now. Kenny Sprague. Kenny, thanks for coming back. Howard Nolte. And Chad Whitaker. All right, there we go. There is your 33 legend members. Thank you to each and every one of you for supporting this channel. It means the world to me. Sean Davis, correct. Thank you so much for reminding me of that. Sean Davis, correct. Thank you, guys. Sean, 1, 2, 3, legendary. SmackDown Inc., the Bull. Thanks for becoming a member, bro. I appreciate that. Cody K, let me make sure I got your email. I got it. The large should fit you, and I got your address. Cody K, thank you, sir. Cody K, thank you, brother. All right, this is what we're giving away. Does anybody else want to become a legend? I'll wait for you to become a legend. All right, Saquon. It's black and it's Kelly green. It's a size XL. All right. The good thing about this is if you're a legend and you win, I have options for other sizes. Okay. I don't have them in my possession, but I have options for other sizes. All right. I'm not going to take it out because it's wrapped beautifully. I'm going to leave it in the thing. All right. What I'm going to do, you want me to take it out? Big C's a legend, so he's got a say in this thing. Oh, no, Big C, you're not a legend. Yeah, you are. You are a legend. It's an XL. If you want me to take it out, I will take it out. I got no issue taking it out. I can rewrap it up. In 30 days, like, nah, leave my jersey in the package. Leave it in the package. Yeah, all right, cool. John says his wife wants that jersey. Love it. All right, I'm leaving it in. All right, here we go. Legend member. By the way, the rules for the legend members. You don't have to be present to win, okay? These are all people who are supporting the channel to great lengths. They're spending $25 a month to be a legend member. It's beyond appreciated for each and every one of you. I hope I can make that clear to you. I am very appreciative of it. And you don't have to be present. All right. You don't pay $25 a month and then have to be present. All right. So I'm going to give them the same thing. They'll have 25 or 24 hours to claim it. I would assume they will. Maybe 48 for a legend. All right. I want the legends to be able to get this. All right. And Big C, I canceled Netflix to become a legend. There you go. Zander's giving you more entertainment than Netflix, aren't I? All right. Ready? We'll do 3 shuffles. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles, 3 shuffles. I do not want a repeat winner here. Wait, did Philly Birds and Beers just upgrade? Tell me he did. Upgraded. All right, we're going back. We're going back. Anybody else want an upgrade? Philly Birds and Beers. You're in. Don't worry, brother. You're in. Yeah, Crowley's a guy that has to get a win. He's another great supporter. There's a lot of people I want to win. I'm trying to get everybody as much as I can. Cody K, if large doesn't fit for you, let me know. You don't have to. It's all right. You're not a burden. Believe me. People DM me asking for all sorts of shit. Okay. No, Jason, here, Jason. This is what I wanted to say. You never won a legend giveaway. That's correct. We have 3 legend winners so far. Jay Ronamu, Dirty Air, and Philly Don. All right. If one of those people gets picked, what I'd like to do is like A-Team. A-Team, if you win this, you're gonna win it. This is a cool jersey. I don't want. It's hard to. I don't want repeat winners because I want as many people to win as possible. But at the end of the day, everybody's like still paying. So what can I do? I'm rooting for. I don't have an opinion on this. All right, I'd be happy with anybody. Let's do it. Anybody else want to upgrade to a legend? Let me know. All right, 1 shuffle, 2 shuffles, 3 shuffles. Here we go. Who will win the legend? Saquon, black and Kelly green. Who will win? 3, 2, 1. Derek Elmore. Derek is the winner of the Saquon jersey. Let's see. Derek is a quiet supporter. He's not a big chatter, but he's been a legend for 2 months. Congrats, Derek Elmore. Derek, are you in here? It is a cool ass jersey. He watches. No, he watches. He's just not a commenter. He's commented after and said, "Hey man, I love your show. I don't comment much in the chat, but I'm a legend member and we love JAKIB." So he's one of those kind of viewers. There's a lot of those people, man. Trust me. A lot of people that don't comment. You guys in the chat can be a bit intimidating. I'm not sure if you know this. You guys can be a bit intimidating. All right, Derek Elmore. Bob, a lot of people reach out. Yeah, Brandon, YouTube doesn't give me the emails. It's weird. It's weird. All right, that's it. Tony, are you still in here, Tony? Holy shit. Tony, is this the Stingray you ordered? Holy shnikes. Good night. That is a masterful color. Tony, this is insane, dude. I'm showing this on the screen. Holy shnikes. Bruh, you're making me want a C8. Holy crap. Congrats to Derek Elmore, our legend winner today. Look at this thing. Dude, with the yellow calipers, the purple paint. What color is that called? What color is that, Tony? Brandon, you're right, man. I try and manage it the best I can. Dude, that is so hot. Hysteria Purple. I knew it was going to be a cool name. Dude, that is. Well done. Good spec, man. Good spec. Good spec. Habanero orange interior. See, Tony, why I like it is I'm so sick of black and white cars. Like if I order a sports car, man, I'm going color on that job. You guys want to see what if Big Z hits the lottery, all right, or if like 10,000 of you guys decide to become a legend member. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys the dream. One of the dreams, okay? One of the dreams would be this right here. Let me save this photo. And the reason this is one of the dreams is because it ties into what I do. All right. Daz, if you're in here, Daz would appreciate this. I can't get over that Hysteria Purple freaking car. It's so beautiful. Yeah, that GTD is what I really want. SmackDown says mine is in my pick. What is that? I can't see it. It's a little small. I don't see it. Well, that Eleanor is obviously the dream, Daz. But look, this is what I want, Daz, because you'll understand, Daz. I talk Eagles all day. All right, I make Eagles content for a living. This is an eruption green Shelby GT 500. This is just a random guy who owns it, who put it up on Facebook, I think. And I saw and saved it. Woo! That eruption green, man. I'm getting that obviously because of birds. But good night, is that thing gorgeous. Good night. Yeah, I like the eruption. Yeah, the green is sick. Beautiful, right, guys? So if JAKIB blows up and Big Z comes across some sort of a lottery somehow, I'll buy this. And what we'll do is we'll do JAKIB Legends get ride around in the GT 500. In the GT 500. That's what Big Z wants. All right, fun day today again. Fun Big Z, fun Zander time. All right, I love all you guys. Congrats to our 3 winners. Cody K, love you, man. Thank you so much. Derek Elmore, thank you, Derek. And Mac Main. Yeah, that's a super snake, Daz. That's just a guy on Daz. I'm in the Mustang Facebook group, and a guy just shared that out. Because Daz, I don't see a lot of Eruption Green GT500s. I actually went online and looked for one on Auto Trader. Dude, they didn't have one in the entire country that was on Auto Trader that I could find. And Auto Trader pulls like all the dealerships and stuff. I'm a big Corvette fan. Tony, you know what's funny about Tony? Tony, you don't happen to be my uncle, do you? I'm just kidding. My uncle Tony is a huge Mustang guy. Or no, a huge Corvette guy. And what he does, Tony, he's supremely gifted. Supremely gifted. Like, I'm talking about, he brought in a 150,000-mile Toyota Tacoma that he drove. He brought to the dealership to trade in. The dealer said, I've never seen a car. I could lick the door sills. It's perfect. He's that kind of guy. Meticulous to a T. He renovates old Mustangs and sells them. He's unbelievable at it. C2s, C3s. He even did a C1. I mean, just incredible work. Incredible. It's funny that your name's Tony and you got the C8 on order. Dad said all the super snakes we sold went to Dubai. It doesn't surprise me at all. Cody K, I love that, man. Meticulous. If you're going to get a great car, be meticulous with your car. I'm meticulous with my truck, and it's a 60,000-mile 2019 pickup truck. I like keeping stuff nice, man. I like keeping stuff nice. Keep it nice. That's how you keep great value and keep things in good shape. Tony, good stuff. All right, everybody. Wait, I got one more super chat. Here we go. I drive a 2018 Ford Taurus. Show few mods pushing like 418. Wow, nice, bro. You getting 418 out of a little Taurus? That's crazy. What'd you put on there? What'd you put on there to get? Is that just a? I know there's some of those Fords have a little upgraded motor. What did you put on there to get 418 out of a Ford Taurus? Yeah, you put something on there. Put a blower on there. Put turbos. SHO, yeah. That's what he said. It's that, what is that, the V6? Super high output. Yeah, I've seen them. A new motor. They come stock with 370. Wow, that's really good. I don't know, Joe. I haven't talked to Cilio. Ray Diddy should be on Cilio soon, though. Ray Diddy was talking to him. That's going to be a good segment. Ray with Dan would be great. Thursday, he said? I'm not sure. Bob, thank you, man. Yeah, Cody K, Coyote. Can't go wrong with a Coyote, brother. You know me. I love my Coyotes. What do you guys think of the new Mustang? I mean, we're on a Mustang kick. What do you guys think of the new ones? I liked them. I was thinking about ordering one, but I don't know, man. I still like the S550 better than the S650, and I like the 550 and the GT500 the best. I like the GT500 the best, obviously. All right, everybody. You can tune an SHO to some big horsepower. Yeah, that's nice. They don't have one of those with a V8, do they? No, probably not. He's a great guy, Joe. Ray Diddy is really a good person. Also, all-wheel drive. That's clutch. That's clutch. All right, everybody. Fox body? You got a Fox body? Who said that? SB Ricky? Tell me you got a Fox body. Fox body action? I never owned a Fox body, but I love when I see him on the road. All right, everybody. I got to run. 84 Fox body. That is sick. Yeah, 25 Stang. You like them, Chad? They're solid. I like them. They need to be lowered immediately. Got to get some lowering springs on that immediately. They're way too propped up. Celine, you had a Celine. Damn, Daz, nice. Celine Fox body. Very cool. Yeah, the 25s, they come up like, dude, it's like, what are we doing here? It's a Mustang. Joe Whip, you're all electric. You got the 3 Teslas, you said? The 3, the Y, and the Z? Is that what you said? Or the X, or whatever the hell they're called? Joe, I didn't think you'd be an Elon Musk guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm an Elon Musk guy. I like Elon Musk. I think he's a pretty generational entrepreneur. Oh, Chad, don't get me started. Chad, when I bought my truck, you know what I really wanted? I wanted the single cab supercharged 5.0 in the pickup truck. I wanted it bad, but it's not practical for me at this point. Yeah, the 5.0 motors, Daz, are just incredible. The Coyote motors it's one of the best motors of all time in terms of just not, obviously not talking like supercars and stuff like that. It's one of the best motors. Even my Uncle Tony, who I told you about. Elon is an ass. The cars are great. Why is he an ass? Come on, Joe. He's not. I don't find him to be an ass. I find him to be a different human. Obviously very smart. I don't like people. As long as you can acknowledge that he's pretty he's pretty wild what he's doing for the world. I mean, with the rockets, we have NASA. We've been funding NASA. They weren't even able to do what Elon did with SpaceX. My brother works in AI. He's got an AI company. So he's obviously he explains to me like the craziness of what Elon does. It's pretty wild. You got if you're into like tech stuff like I am, and you're into just like really dope entrepreneurship, you got to listen to Jensen Huang, or however you say his last name, the CEO of NVIDIA. You got to listen to him explain what Elon Musk did with some of the stuff he creates. I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. The political stuff, I guess. I probably don't agree with you politically, but I don't have an issue with what he's doing. I think he's pretty cool. I think he's a pretty wild. Daz, I've owned NVIDIA for 2 years, man. 2 years in the Roth. Yeah, dude. What's that? The Boring Company, Dirty Air? The one with the Yeah, Daz, my brother is in AI. He has an AI company, and obviously with everything they just announced yesterday, with all the investment into AI and stuff, my brother's trying to capitalize on everything. But he's met with NVIDIA. They had a huge multi-million-dollar order of NVIDIA chips, which obviously are powering the entire future, basically. So NVIDIA is going to be a massive one. Yep. Starlink. I have Starlink. Let me show you. I got Starlink. Look how sick. Nobody wants to give Elon credit for this. Starlink. This is my Starlink. This is a Starlink Mini. I can mount this on my truck. All right. For all the places there's been natural disasters. Okay. California, North Carolina. They use this, and it pulls internet directly from satellites in space. It's insane, the technology of this thing. Yes, you can game with Starlink. You could do anything. I could stream this show right now with Starlink. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm going to prop it up on my car, though, is what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. What, for Starlink? Farmer, I think I did the top option, the unlimited one. It's like $150. I'm not sure. It's a write-off for me. It's not free, but it's a write-off. I do the unlimited one because I never know when I'm going to need Wi-Fi. And when I do need Wi-Fi, I typically use a lot of data. Obviously, I'm downloading videos and streaming, which is upload speed and all sorts of different stuff. So, I think it's $150. But you can get like a Farmer J. You can get like a 50 gigabyte option, which is probably good for most people who are like roaming or just like need minor internet. It's like $50 a month. So it's not crazy. It's not crazy at all. Mac Main, I got your DM. Thank you. Cody, I got your email. And Derek Elmore, I got to figure out how to get in touch with him because I don't see him in the chat much, but he's a great Legend member, obviously. So we still got $2.99 kicking it around in here. That's pretty funny. I appreciate everybody. I love talking cars. You can tell. Maybe in the off season we'll do some more of that stuff. I'll bring some of you guys on. Daz, I want to bring you on, talk some cars with you. I want you to educate me on what you know. Sean, I'd like to bring you on. Tony, I want to bring you on. Chad, I'll bring you on. Bird Gang Girl, I listen till you stop. I appreciate that, Bird Gang Girl. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Sometimes I just ramble on. That'd be cool. SmackDown, you said you got the, what did you say you had? The Z06 or Z07? What's the big difference between the 6 and the 7? Cody K, that'd be real fun, wouldn't it? James Jones, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. Z06, nice, man. That's pretty sick. Let me see if I can load up your picture because I can't see it from where I am. Go to channel. Let me see if I can look at this. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Oh, you got a short on your channel of it. Oh! Holy shit! Bro, I feel the need to show this short to the people. SmackDown, this thing is crazy. Where is this thing? Look at this, John. It might not work that well, but dude. Dude. Yo, it is crazy what Corvette did with these cars. I know people are, oh, it's a knockoff. Dude, Corvette crushed those cars. And mid-engine. Oh, look what I got. Hey, you guys will like this. Where are all my car people? I'm going to move my camera for a little bit, all right? Just give me a sec. All right. All right, look. This is a sick book. Every model since 53, the Corvette book. This is dope. Look at this pile of books. You guys will like this pile of books. Eagles Encyclopedia, Ray Diddy, American Muscle, love American Muscle, Kobe Bryant, Mamba Mentality, and then the Stingray. And then I got the Mustang book. I got the complete book of Mustang, obviously. The complete book of Mustang. The Stingray book for the mid-engine is obviously really dope. The mid-engine revolution, baby. The mid-engine revolution. Yeah, and SmackDown put the butterfly doors on there. Yeah, the Kobe book is great. The Kobe book is great. But I wanted to show you guys my Corvette books since we're talking about Corvettes so much today. Yeah, those books are great. If you like, I like table books too. I'm a big table book guy. I like them. Yeah, Dirty Air. I'm hoping that you're serious about that offer because I'm going to take you up on that thing so fast. Bobby Murphy, where's your Inner Excellence book? I don't have it, bro. Sean, thank you, man. You're great, man. I really appreciate your support today, bro. I hope you know that. And I'm not just saying that, man. I really do appreciate it. That type of stuff is what, like, literally what helps keep us on the air. So that's majorly appreciated. All right, everybody. I got to run. I got some work to do. All right. We kicked it around. We had 3 giveaways. We talked cars. We talked sports. We talked Eagles. Fun. All right, that was fun. Yeah, table books are cool. The newest table book I got, I don't know if everybody will like. Maybe people will get mad at me. I won't say that one. I won't say that one. I'll save that one for an off-season day, all right? All right. I love all my people. I love all you guys. Thank you so much for all the support, for the likes, the shares, the comments, everything. What is it? Now you guys want to know? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go down that road. But it is great. It's a sick book. It's my favorite one that I have easily. All right. It's my favorite one I have easily. But appreciate everybody. Catch you tomorrow on Birds 365. And make sure you guys are tuned in later today on the National Football Show. All right. Either today or tomorrow, I'm going to give away the Zach Bond jersey. No, not Art of the Deal. I have like 3 copies of that, though. Great book. Love that book. I'm going to give away the Zach Bond jersey on where's the book? I'll show you guys the book. You want to see the freaking book? Oh, no, the book's in the other room. The book's in the other room. All right. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to give away the Zach Bond jersey on Cilia. So make sure you guys are tuned in, all right? Make sure you guys are tuned in. Mad Bird, I know Mad Bird, you'd like the book. You would like the book. You would for certain like the book. I'll DM it to you, Mad Bird. It was like 100 beans, I think. It was worth it, though. All right. See you, everybody. Tune into the National Football Show later on. Flex, you might like it, too. You might like it, too. I don't want to, I don't want to, okay. You know how the world is, all right? You know how the world is, all right? All right, see you, everybody. Love you all. Peace.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate inside the locker room and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.